It's not about that, right? It's just
Yeah.
we're just hanging out, being recorded, maybe going on Facebook Live.
That's fine. I'm okay with that. I've looked worse.
That's cool. I'm okay with it. I'm totally okay with it.
What is this, like the beard group here?
No issues here.
Huh?
Oh god.
You have to have
The
a
beard
beard to
group.
be in this conversation.
Yes. Totally should have a beard.
Your sound is a little soft, Joey.
Is it?
You have like a volume control somewhere?
Is that better?
Oh yeah.
Oh wow.
Okay. For some reason, my headsets do that, and I don't like it.
They don't have
even
like
when
a.
I'm streaming.
There's no volume on that headset, or some kind of a app to control it. Oh.
Yeah. So
It's all
it's
good.
not one of those fancy ones. It's one of those cheap ones. So I think that's why.
Oh, right.
I can't I can't see myself buying like a $50 headset or $80 headset unless it's a gaming headset.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know what you mean.
Yeah.
And I can adjust to myself to buy expensive headsets. I just can't.
Yeah.
Unless this was about, gosh, what year is this? 2020? This was back in 2004, 2005 when I was DJing. Okay, that's when I need some good headsets.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I need some more light in here. Hang on. That's better.
Oh, that gives me orange. Wow, no, that's gross.
Woo!
Let's not use that light.
Yeah, it's pretty toasty.
Oh, we're live on Facebook now. All right.
Oh no.
What's wrong with that?
I disguise myself right now. There, I'm gonna disguise myself. It's good seeing you, Joey. Haven't seen. Seems like forever.
Years,
congratulations, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
Looking good, dude.
Yeah. Yeah, thanks. I had a long beard. I cut it because of the mask and like everything else. Because I touch everything and then I touch my beard. So I'm like, no, what? That's kind of a self-hazard for myself. So I decided to trim it. So it's actually.
Well, this is about 2 weeks.
Yeah, it's about me in like a week.
Yeah, you got me beat. Remember that?
Yeah.
We used to do a contest, remember? I think you got me beat.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Good times. Oy, what was that?
This had to be 2010.
Has it really been that long?
So I started going to Cyprus in 2008, 2009.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Then I was there for 2 or 3 years. No, till 2013. Then I stopped. Or 2013, 2010. Then I stopped from there. And then I was away for about 2 or 3 years. And then I came back.
Wow. That's a lot of changes.
Yeah, a lot. Yeah, a lot changed when I came back too. I was like, there's no group of people. There was nothing. It was just students hanging around. Not really a big group though. It was just like all individual.
Yeah, it's true.
True. Oh, you're good, Ken?
Yeah, I was trying to invite people because what happened was Joey and I thought we'd have a talk about photography. We thought actually originally be film. But then I got so busy with these. I've been doing like one a day, like I was telling you before. And then so I forgot to invite anybody. But so I just thought it's always fun for me, this is selfish, but to just, hang out with the Cypress College people, So
this is all your thing, man.
Well, no, I mean it's everybody's. But I just thought, it'd be cool if anybody from Cyprus, whatever, just
definitely.
Yeah.
I know some people are not as spontaneous for picking up.
I know that's me. I'm horribly spontaneous that way. I could never stand conceptual photography because I'm not a good planner.
This is true.
That's why I hate conceptual too. I was thinking the other day, it's like that would be a fun book to do. Would be like a Christianity on conceptual and modern and postmodern day Renaissance Christianity artwork, and how would that look today through Christianity view.
That's a neat angle.
Yeah. Because I know a lot of the Christian community don't really like the conceptual art pieces or conceptual artwork. Except for
why do you suppose that is?
nudity. A lot of the nudity stuff is in there.
Okay.
And so I can see that part of the view.
Yeah.
And just like they think like because what Christianity think is good work is probably like Michelangelo, Leonardo, all of that Da Vinci stuff, like Cathedral and the paintings of Jesus or interpreting Jesus or David or so parts of the Bible. That's artwork to them.
Okay.
So,
Interesting.
yeah.
That's really interesting.
I was just thinking about that the other day. I'm like, that would be a cool thing to write about.
That's very cool, dude. Seriously. Yeah. That's seriously cool.
Go for it.
Yeah. Well, I'm making my I don't know if you've been watching my streams or not, but I am making a book right now of just my artwork and how my life through photography and artwork. This is a very small book, like this big or so. It's not gonna be like grand or anything. But then I told you about my project, Ken, about Story of Faith, where I'm gonna interview just a bunch of other Christians and talk about how they became and when they became a Christian, and that pinnacle point of when it's not my family's faith, it's not really anybody's faith, but it's now became my faith.
Okay.
And so I'm rewriting all of that structures like that. So I started it for a while, but I stopped because the sound quality was horrid and bad. So I know I need better sound equipment.
Okay.
But I'm glad that happened because now I get to reinvent it, and make it a little bit better. That way I can make it into like a coffee table book as well.
Yeah,
Nice.
I could give you a little tip for your sound.
Yeah.
One thing you can do that's probably the most cost effective is you need to get something to get the ability to plug in not just one but two microphones into your phone.
Okay.
And then you get these really inexpensive lavalier mics. Like that's what I have right here. This.
Okay.
And those things, these are kind of expensive, but they make them very inexpensive, and they rate super high. Even the ones, now I'm talking, you can get these for like $6.
Whoa.
So $12.
Can you send me a link? Yeah. Can you send me a link to all your sound equipment and stuff?
And then then you just run those into some kind of dongle that'll go on your phone, and it'll be just an exceedingly more clean experience. You hear people work clearly.
Okay, yeah. Yeah.
Just like photography. Go ahead.
I'm buying a digital backing for my 4x5.
Oh.
Yeah.
Tell me about that. Now that.
Yeah.
I was going to buy a 4x5 today. I'm looking at a Crown. I'm looking at a Graflex.
Well, do you want to use? Never mind. You can't use mine just yet.
I had a great photographer guy, Ian Logan. He actually offered to let me just borrow his speed, but I don't want to break it.
Oh no. Yeah. No, because the graphite glass, that's expensive. That thing's pretty trendy right there. Yeah. But because I don't know, Raul, if you knew this, but I'm shooting now. Wet plate. Yeah, I'm shooting wet plate now, and so I kind of want to do more digital looking ones because it is a lot easier. You can get not the same effect, but the same look.
Well, Grace might disagree.
Oh yeah, and so my birthday's coming up, and so I wanted to buy something for myself that's kind of nice and pricey and expensive. So I was looking for like maybe a printer or something to do with photography. I was like, well, maybe there might be a digital backing for the 4x5. And so I looked and I found one. I'll send you the link to that too.
I'd like to see that.
Yeah. And it looks pretty good. To get the full camera view, you have to shoot 3 significant shots. They all.
Wow.
That panel moves though.
Wow, what a trip.
Yeah. So that way it doesn't move like vertical or horizontally, it moves the camera itself in the same position.
Physically moves?
Physically moves the camera, yeah.
Wow.
So the 4x5 stays still, but the camera backing, where the camera's attached, moves.
Wow.
That's a trip.
Yeah.
That is a trip.
This is really cool.
Yeah. So
do you imagine that image is going to be? Have you had experience with that, Raul, with the digital backs on things like 4x5 or medium format?
I had never. Last time I worked with the digital back was actually with the actual digital, the school's Hasselblad or the Phase 1.
Oh yeah, I
camera.
use that too.
That's the only time I messed with a digital back. But as far as using a film camera on a digital back, I had not. Excuse me. But I had heard a lot of successful portrait photographers and food photographers doing that method because they want that tilt shift approach for shooting shots.
And that takes a whole lot of money on a tilt shift camera lens.
Yeah.
It's very true.
Yeah.
Does it look different? Because I remember I used that Hassi from college. It's like a $40,000 camera, and like I thought it looked amazingly better than anything I own.
Yeah.
I didn't feel like it looked like a film equivalent. And I'm not saying film's better at all. I'm just saying that aesthetically it looked different.
Yeah. Well, I'll give it this. I'll give film this is that they, like, I'm a black and white snob, so I prefer black and white film over color. But the color range on cameras are just superb. Like they get a lot
On digital, you mean?
On digital.
Yeah.
But when you have a true like great printer, like you can't get that reflect on digital though. Like I've seen a few amazing pieces on the film negative themselves, and it's just superb.
Mm.
But digital's got color far beyond film does. But black and white, I still think the silver nitrate gives that clean and beautiful colors of black and white on film than digital does.
I would have to agree on that.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been trying to edit black and whites and digitally.
Yeah, like you can get close to it, and you if you don't have the eye for it, you can think like, wow, this is gorgeous black and white. But once you have the eye for something, like you know the difference between a black and white, beautiful black and white negative to a beautiful black and white print.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, cool.
It takes more skill for black and white film. You need the proper filters, the proper adjustments. Meaning, when I mean by adjustments, I mean by like polarized filter, the proper push, proper was it neutral density filters?
Yeah.
It takes a lot of guts to use it properly.
Yeah.
In my opinion,
filter.
if you could pull that off, and you can pull that off.
That helps you out so much.
When you're shooting, you're certainly shooting for a specific purpose. Like if you want to blow it up really big, you want a super amount of contrast on there, you might throw a red filter on it, and like you kind of know as you're shooting what it's going to look like when you print it. Or you're going for a certain thing. I'm trying to say is that.
I remember Rob Johnson once said, "You're using an amber filter, which is it's a little filter. You just go back and forth.
Yeah.
For your eye, you can actually see the scene in black and white.
Yeah, I've used those before.
Gives you more. Yeah, they're pretty awesome. And it actually helps you to pre-visualize your scene better too, and hope for the best. But for the most part, if you train your eye properly, you should be okay. And I never owned a filter before, but I do try to pre-visualize. Okay, this is zone 1. This is black is black zone, white is white, and then of course I try and find the medium gray.
Yeah, and
that's hard.
Yes. So with film, Greg, I don't know if you remember Greg Fulton.
Yeah, of course.
Okay, so he got me involved with film photography, right? And then Cliff taught me how to shoot film, but I didn't learn how to use and properly shoot film until I was with Greg Rager.
Why was it? Why did it take that?
Because he went to the science of everything, and he went through like the methodical reasons of how you should properly shoot film, and how you should treat it as not as an artwork, but treat it as something you need to have forever. And that way you treat it as like, I don't know how to put the words in it, but kind of just like, if you're gonna shoot it good. That way you can use it for art for later. You can make it artwork no matter what. But as long as you know how to shoot it, then you know how to repeat it.
No.
It's true.
Yeah.
It takes us one good negative to make it worthy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because you ever see his negatives, man, they're just pristine, and you know, he's like, yeah, this is the one.
Well, what's a good negative? I took Rager's alternative class, and I remember, making negatives, and he had us create negatives that were different levels of what did he call it? Thicknesses. Densities, yeah.
Yeah.
So is there such a thing as a good density?
The thing, it depends on what you're shooting that day, and how the lighting's that day. Because you can say a nice sunny day, you can have like this black negative, but that negative could be the best one out of that day.
Because it contains dark information, shadow information?
It'll have white information. Because everything is a negative. Everything will go to opposite.
Okay.
Yeah. I forget the terms, too.
Bulletproof negatives.
Yeah.
Gotta love those.
Yeah.
Why does a 35 millimeter negative why do images shot on 35 look different than 120 or 4x5? Like, why? To me, they look different. Is it the lens?
More information, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I agree to that, because the size of negative is so much space you have.
Sorry, keep going.
There you go. It's kind of like a sensor, like a digital sensor, in my opinion. I don't know. This is just my thoughts. The bigger the sensor, the bigger, like Joey, I think he's trying to say, the more information you get and more details. The size of megapixels is not necessarily true, because I made a 6-foot print out of a 4 megapixel camera.
Right. How did you do that? I just talked to a guy yesterday who he worked for some company that they blow up everything for like MoMA and LACMA, and he interned for them, and he's talking about these softwares that do interpolation, but he alluded that there's an entire procedure. So it's not just like put automatic software on there and it's going to look beautiful, but that there's some craft on how to make something small image-wise into a big,
Yeah. But what I was about to say is also, with 35, you're wasting your film like constantly, because that's $20 a roll. With bigger format, you're going to take more of your time with it too. So you're spending more time on the photograph to make sure you actually have a nice shot too.
True.
Because you don't want to waste like a $2 shot on a 4x5, because that box is $50.
Well, it's like we were talking yesterday about how we like medium format because it's only 12 shots, But like many times, even with 24, I've been shooting skating so long, I could get a shot in about 3 clicks. So it's like 24 images. I just feel so bad wasting all the rest of that film.
That's when you just call those art pieces. Honestly, with all my digital stuff that I have, and I'm looking through them, like I'm looking through all my old archive stuff, all my blurry photos, like I'm sure you guys seen it on my Instagram.
Yeah, they're beautiful. Those are gorgeous.
That one colorful one that's all blurry. That was just a blurry shot. and I was ranting about like how you can make something super blurry into something super colorful and just call it art, and it's now art. And
But there has to be something there, doesn't there?
Huh?
There has to be something there.
No, I just grabbed that. That was just a random photo. Like I just
You didn't cultivate that in any way to make it more artistic or more pleasing or.
The only thing I did was switch the brightness and dark, and then just add different color filters on it, and that's what it came up with, or color gradients, and that's what it came up with.
So that's like an alternative process, right? Like you.
Yeah, that would have been a. Someone's here.
Are you looking at it on Facebook, Raul?
No, I'm not. I'm using my phone.
You getting a delay?
Yeah, usually live streams.
Yeah, I guess just went up.
Live streams usually have a delay. Facebook especially so. Because when I stream on Facebook, there's usually like a 20-second delay for me.
Maybe it's you're on the app. Yeah.
Yeah, I just know like you guys talking 3 different things at once. Like, whoa, what's going on here?
Oh, it's all figured out.
Sorry, I didn't interrupt.
All good.
Maybe.
Sorry.
How do I get rid of the chat? Close pop. Pop up. Oh, there it is. Okay. Cool.
Yeah, that's cool though. I didn't realize, but right here we have 2 really great people that have a lot of knowledge in film, which is you 2. I mean, my God, you guys.
I have no knowledge. I admit it, I don't. I'm sure Joey has more knowledge than I do. I'm pretty confident to say that.
I think I'm more.
I'm pretty sure.
I think River's a better printer of knowledge than I am.
Thank you, but okay.
Yeah. Because his prints are pretty outstanding. If you ever see some of his prints.
Oh, I could never. When I first went to Cypress College, I was in a class with Raul, and
yeah.
I wanted to leave. I was like, why am I here? Like I could never do what he does. The things he sees, and I still can't. That's why I like to buddy up to you guys because you're better than me. I'm hoping some of it will rub off.
It has.
Rub it Very off great what you do.
Rub it off on me. But no, I'm always all ears. With you guys.
I think that was the most intimidating part about going to school, was you're going there at a level, and when you go into a class or so, and there's these other students who are just like phenomenal at it, and you're just like, well, why even bother?
Like Raul.
Yeah.
Which mean?
Yeah, I kind of froze. It took me a long time to kind of get my feet.
Yeah. If you don't make
that, I think it took me about 3 years. Sorry.
What was that?
I said I think it took me like 3.5 years to get comfortable where I'm at Cypress.
Yeah.
Right, me too. I'd say it's about maybe 4 or 6 for me, but yeah, a long time.
Yeah. I think when I came back to Cypress after my first absent, everything just clicked. Like something just clicked in my head, and I started figuring things out for myself, and it's like, oh, this is how you do it now, and this is how it works.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
But yeah, 3 years was the first 2.5 years, 3 years was, and I think it didn't take me like till about my 3rd year I understand how f-stop works.
Yeah.
I'm serious. It took me like 3 years to understand, like, oh, so that's what it means to throw off the background off photographing people. Oh, that's what I need to do for landscapes.
I mean, I still don't even really have them all memorized. I remember in Clifford's class, he'd write on the board, oh, we're at 5, 6, so what's next? And everybody knew except me. Everybody's, rattling the numbers off. And
I had no idea.
Rager, too. My God, Rager's classes were like friggin'.
He helped me out a lot. I don't know what, like, his teaching just helped me out so much.
Yeah.
It's quite a bundle of knowledge, Greg. He really does.
Yeah. I love that he just gave you his notes too. Like, here's all my notes.
That's awesome.
I want to do a talk with Rager, you know, but I don't know what I would even ask him because I mean, he's like he's the wizard, you know. I mean, that dude knows.
Yeah.
There's stuff I was looking forward to doing in his second alternative class, which obviously never happened. But
Oh yeah, I
remember
was
that?
really upset that was shot down.
He's going to talk about stuff like making copies of negatives, and I don't
Mhm.
even know what else. Who knows? It was just he gave you so much in a semester.
Yeah,
I'm still processing some of that stuff in my brain.
I was really excited to shoot that 8x11 camera or 8x10 camera. I
Yeah.
really wanted to shoot that camera.
It's been quite
What's
heavy.
that cost of
Camera.
shot?
The film was $100 for 10 sheets.
Is that all?
Is
That
that
was
all?
it.
Gee.
And I was like, I need to make sure like I am gonna shoot this very methodically and very well to where I'm not gonna be messing up.
I have a question for you guys. So I'm gonna get. I've been shooting 4x5 for maybe a year. I've shot a lot. I shot it a lot, but is it the same to take a digital camera, you know, like this one, and dial in the same f-stop and shutter of your and ISO of your 4x5 and sync it to the lights and all that stuff and get a, you know, like the way in the old days they would do a Polaroid, or is that different?
I think it'll be different because of the bellows extension.
Mhm.
Stuff.
That
So I had
changes
to
your
go
light intensity.
Yeah, that'll change your light intensity, stuff like that. Even though you'll get a close remnant, you won't get it accurate.
So it could get you in the ballpark. Just make sure you don't totally screw up some important picture, or no.
That's hard to
Yeah,
say.
geez.
That's hard to say because I know you can do it with 35 millimeter because you're using the exact same lens. You just have to dial in the exact same lens and the same.
Oh, right, same sensor size too.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
I remember when I was for Rob Johnson's class, photo 103 class. It was no, it wasn't 103. It was for the I want to say his zone systems class he offered, and the assignment was to photograph anyone you want with a 4x5. Okay, so I was like, oh, that sounds pretty easy. Just use a light meter, boom, punch the numbers in to the 4x5.
Yep.
Biggest mistake of my entire life.
Why?
So I was using 800 film speed, 4x5 sheets, and told me to have some lights on and a window light as well, and it told me my settings I should photograph at 1/125th at 6.3.
Okay. Yeah. Wow. Really? At 800
like,
ISO?
something weird like that.
Wow.
So I try to check the meter again. Like, okay, I give it a shot at it, and oh my goodness, it was just my mom's hair in focus.
Oh.
So I forgot about the 4x5. The depth of field is way different than the 35.
Yeah.
Right.
And at the time, I remember he was mentioning that. I remember he was telling us at the class that. But yeah, the hair was in focus, and it's my parents who I photographed, and their nose was very soft. The eyes were slightly in focus, but just her hair and my dad's arm was in focus. It's pretty funny we brought this up because I actually found the negative recently.
Oh, nice.
I was looking the negatives, and I was looking. I'm like, damn, I really did screw this assignment up. So, lesson learned: try to photograph people at least at. This is only a guess, maybe at f11, maybe f16. Outdoor settings because you didn't endorse.
I learned that from Rob Johnson. Yeah, he said at least f10, and if you could do better, then do better.
Yeah, so it's a big lesson learned, and yeah, that was very shocking to the field. And I just wish I could have redone it, done it right. I should have done it, but I never did. But
right.
Hey, it's all good.
That's why light meter helps.
I did use light meter.
Yeah.
Oh.
Right. It gets you in the ballpark.
I forgot to contribute the bellows and the depth of field. I forgot. It's completely different from the 35. It really is.
Always forget what it like. I know it's 8 inches is normal, but like overextension, I know like you probably need to add light, and like less if it's less than 8 inches, I know you need to reduce the light or something like that. Okay.
That sounds about right.
Okay, making sure.
Sounds about right. I hope. If Grace is seeing this, please forgive me.
Oh man, if Grace is seeing this.
Or anyone else who is professional in the 4x5 who would know this. Will Hare. He's very knowledgeable.
Yeah.
I would think for the or Chester.
Yeah.
Who else? Greg Zajac. He's very knowledgeable with the 4x5s.
Really?
For studio.
That's
Okay.
cool.
Yeah.
For studio shots.
I remember my first assignment with the 4x5, and I was Greg Fulton. And he said, don't shoot anything black or red. And it was during Christmas time.
Oh, no.
You know, shoot something that you truly enjoy. I'm like, well, I really like, and at the time I was always going to Starbucks or a coffee shop. So, and I still do, except for this stupid quarantine. So I decided to shoot a red cup with coffee beans spilled all over the place. Somehow I got a wonderful negative for being my first time ever using a 4x5. Greg Fulton comes in and he's like, what are you shooting? Why are you shooting this? I'm like, well, I didn't think of anything else. And he's like, oh my gosh. It's like, do you need help? I'm like, no, I think I got it. I think I have it. I was too stubborn to ask for help.
I remember this. I remember that day.
Oh yeah?
I think I was in the other lab where you're doing that assignment.
Yeah. It's a huge cup of coffee beans.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And that studio smelled like coffee for a good 2 days.
Yes. Right. No one was complaining about it.
Nope. I was okay with it.
Didn't they have a
Good
coffee
times.
maker in the stock room?
Yeah. I've always saw it in the back.
Yeah. If you had a class with Tara, occasionally she'd bring in coffee. I guess not for everybody, but sometimes she'd bring me a cup, which is always, helpful if you're falling asleep during a lecture.
Gosh, I remember so many random memories for the coffee, especially for Cliff's class for his final project. Photograph on white, on white, on white, on white, on white.
Yeah. I was in that class with you.
Yes.
Another horrifying moment when I saw his, my God, it was the most beautiful, like, Glade scent thing or something. It was exquisite, I was like, mine is just a piece of shit. I mean, why am I here?
Yeah, that assignment was brutal, man. That final assignment, gosh, it was really brutal because, make sure the coffee is really hot. Unfortunately, when that happened, the coffee cup exploded in the stockroom. It's microwave.
Oh, I'm thinking of a different thing. I think I was in Available Light with you, and he said to shoot, or maybe a studio. He said shoot a white thing on a white backdrop. I think we can only use one light.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, it has to have dark to light. It has to have separation from the background. It has to,
See, when I hear that, when the first time I heard that, I'm like, oh my gosh, this is scary. This is so hard. Now I'm like, this was easy. That was like one of the most easiest projects.
The white on white?
Yeah, white on white.
I think it's still hard, in my opinion.
Yeah?
It taught me a lot about lighting.
Oh, yeah.
That's a really hard assignment. I still put myself to the test from time to time.
White on
I'm
white.
serious, but I haven't done that recently, so I may have to do that soon.
Do it.
It's true. I mean, some of those rudimentary things, I know in music, it's important to go back to them. And they actually mess with all the complex things, like in music, in most art, I believe that the rudimentary things are more important than any advanced thing.
Yeah.
And people that I really appreciate their work, they're almost always just like masters at stuff that most people think is too boring to work on, like f-stop, like theory.
Yeah. Well, that's what Greg was telling us, is like, if you move master learning the basics of like your f-stops, your ISO, and your aperture, and your speed.
Shutter. Yeah.
And your shutter. Like, you master those three, or memorize those, you'll be ahead of anybody else in the game.
You can do you can solve anything.
Yeah.
It might take you longer if you're, but that's the whole game, isn't it? I mean, and then, in Clifford's class, the one I took was available light. That was like a revelation for me. I've been a photographer for decades, and the way that he looked at light, it changed my whole game.
That's true about the variable light class. It was definitely a game changer.
Yeah.
Definitely helped to understand certain lighting. However, I'm still stuck over his second or first assignment. He showed to the class, photograph a very simple dramatic lighting. Okay.
I remember that.
I never understood it. I still don't understand it to this day, I don't think. And it's frustrating.
Right.
It is.
And ever since that class, I everywhere I look, I see light now. Like, in other words, it literally changed me, that class, so, and I think that's more important than what camera you have and what kind of film you got, or Sony, Nikon, Canon. It's just literally, do you see light?
Yeah. How to manipulate it.
Yeah, that's with lighting, but that's the same, right?
Yeah.
Whether you're filtering it or bringing your own or using a combination of whatever. I mean, as stupid as it sounds, I never really saw light. I worked as an assistant for a while. I mean, I made a living off of it for a while, and I shot pictures my whole life, but I never really saw light.
True.
Not like that. Not the way that he wanted me to, he really was picky about finding an eloquent light. Like what Raul said about that first assignment, whatever it was. It was so ridiculously difficult.
Yeah, it was.
I've always hated sending my assignments to Cliff. I always hated it. It was the worst part of school.
See, for me, that was the best part.
No, it was the worst. It was never the best.
That's too funny.
Because for me, I feel where you're at. I mean, I would get a stomachache, and sure enough, it would never be correct.
Yeah. I remember one time I worked on this project for Cliff. It was black background, and you have to shoot something super dark, like an amber color or something like that. But it has to be like really shown, and only 2-light system.
Right.
I think this was studio practice.
Right.
And I worked really hard on this photo. I photoshopped it. I was doing everything, saving it every 15 minutes or so, because you have to do that when you're working on a project.
Right.
And I was up till, and I've never done an all-nighter. I never pulled an all-nighter, and I refused to pull an all-nighter for school or homework.
Yeah.
So if it was at 1 o'clock, I stopped, sent it in, and that was it, whatever it was. So I just bunkered down, and I finished that project, and I got it down. I finished around 2:30. I sent it in, and Cliff just riddled me. Like, showed my photo. It was like the second to last photo, and that's like the worst photo, and then the last photo is the best photo. And I guess I sent him the wrong file because it was like the midway of being photoshopped and not finished completely.
Yeah.
And you see spotches of black and like lens flare and all this stuff. I'm like, oh my gosh, I just put my head down in defeat. And he's like, do you have anything to say for yourself? I'm like, yeah, I sent the wrong photo. I have the real one right here. I can send it right now.
I remember that.
Oh, I was just so defeated.
At least you sent him the wrong photo. I mean, I've handed him the photo that I thought was pretty good.
Oh,
He
same
just
here.
used
Don't
it
get
as
me
a
wrong. Don't get me wrong. Same here.
PTSD 101. Take a class with Cliff.
Seriously. I remember trying to avoid his classes too. I'm like, I don't want a Cliff here, man. I want someone nice.
Well, he was nice. He was nice, but he really, I don't know Clifford, but I mean, I think he felt that it really did bother him, and maybe there were times that there's stuff we couldn't see, or maybe you guys saw it. I didn't see it sometimes, but I'm telling you, I have that man's voice in my head every time I pick up a camera.
Oh, same here. I have details. But I think it was good that I took all of his classes though.
Yeah.
Like when I came back, I truly appreciated the man.
Right.
Yeah.
I would seek out a class that he did just because I wanted him to pick me apart, because that's the only place you learn anything. You never learn anything from, oh, it looks great.
Well, no, yeah, exactly. And so, like, I think when I came back, I started fishing for his classes because I wanted to learn from him. I wanted to learn, like, how to get better. And I really needed that, like, harsh criticism from him.
That's what I told with all the instructors when taking it. Don't be easy on me. Be very difficult. I mean, I don't care what it takes. If you make you cry, that's okay.
Yeah.
If you give me an F, okay, tell me why I got an F.
Yeah.
Tell me why I got the C. I want to know why, and why.
Yeah.
I mean, go ahead.
I remember with Cliff class, I just, like, when he gave us our assignments, I highlighted all the important stuff and tried to make sure that, like, those are key things he wants in the photograph and try to make sure those key things are in the photograph.
Yeah, details. Spectator highlights.
Yes. Details.
Yeah, he had his criteria.
Yeah.
It's all good though. I mean, we all got traumatized by it. It's all good.
Oh, traumatized.
If you hear this, Cliff, it's okay, Cliff. I thank you for the harsh criticism, so thank you.
No,
I think we all do. I think we all appreciate it in the long run, no matter what.
I did. Yeah.
I think Ken appreciated right then and there.
No, I mean, it took me one or two classes, but then I would realize, oh my God, that dude's.
Yeah.
He cares, and he's changing my photography, and many of the teachers there did. And like, if I would take a class, I might learn one thing. I took somebody's class. I can't remember her name, but the backgrounds. What's going on in the background. I had so much merging in my photography, it wasn't even funny. And I hear her voice. I can't remember her name, but I hear her voice every time I pick up a camera. Like, oh yeah, it looks good, but oh wait, is there like a pole sticking out of their head?
I forgot which book it was, and I think it was Fulton or Birchfield that showed us this book. And this guy made a book of photography of, like, calling, like, crazy backgrounds. Like, I forgot what the book was called.
I think that's Birchfield.
And he was showing like this, like, I have that thing behind me, and the guy purposely put stuff like that. He purposely, like, made things to be like they're in the way of the photograph. He's saying, like, even though it's a terrible even though it's a terrible thing, like, it's still a good photograph of a person in the foreground.
I remember that book. I had to remember who showed that. It was a good book, though.
Tell me about
really cool work in that book.
I never had the opportunity to take a class with Birchfield, and I know that I thought I heard Rob kind of revering him.
Birchfield was a really cool guy. He was really into the arts.
What was his full name?
Gary Birchfield.
Okay.
Yeah. Look him up. Like, he has some really cool artwork.
Right.
Unfortunately, I took his last class, and he pretty much said, like, just take the test home, do it. You can cheat, whatever. I don't care. It's my last class, so have fun.
I wish I took his class. I'm still regretting it.
Yeah.
But I knew who he was. He's the one who pushed me to start making prints.
Okay.
And then Rob Johnson started instigating on me to start making prints. And
yeah, go ahead.
I think in my last year of being a student there for the last year, it finally kicked in a notch to realize what they're saying. And I just wish I did more prints. I wish I did that, and I never did.
What does printmaking do for a photographer? Because many photographers don't make prints. They don't think it's important. What does it do for a photographer to make prints?
It helps you be aware of your flaws, very much. And it sounds bad, but it makes you see the flaws. Meaning, let's say you walk by a photo, right? I got these words from Rob Johnson. You walk by a photo, you see no problems. That means the photo's good. If you stop by and look at it, you see something wrong with it.
Yeah.
But if you keep walking by it and it's tangible, you have something to look at. It's just a very pleasing, aesthetic, tangible art. It's just, you can see your work, you can feel more appreciative of what you've done, accomplished to make that happen, make it work. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well said.
It's just, I just wish I had made more prints. And I'm gonna lie to you. I mean, I started putting some prints throughout the house. Not enough. I should go back to it and do that today or this week. Actually, there's been a weekend project. But
yeah, that'd be cool.
I need to fulfill my mom's wishes too. That's part of it.
Right.
I don't know. It just looks really good to see some of your own art on the wall, or it just looks really good. It really does. And like, wow, that's a pretty cool photo. I don't remember taking that photo because everything's digital and instant gratification.
Right.
Yeah.
Until you print that photo out, and then you're like, oh, not as good as I thought it was.
Because the print somehow amplifies flaws. Is that what it is?
It helps you to see. It actually helps you to see your own flaws. If you know what's wrong with it, it can.
Yeah.
But if you see no flaws with it, then it's a good thing. But at the same time, and I'm gonna lie to you, I remember seeing a photo I've made a print. I was like, oh, that's a really good photo. I'm gonna put it up. I actually put it up, and then it's still hanging up. I'm like, oh, I see something wrong with it. The composition is way off.
Right.
It's a photo of it's a photo of a pier. When you photograph piers, you want to have more at the end of the pier, so it cuts off instead of at the very like this much. And
Okay.
that's why I see in the photo, like, damn, I should have pushed it more.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. That's cool.
This is a good example.
Yeah. That's like when I do have like an OK printer, and so like I still need to find another like 60 photos to put in my book, and so I kind of want to just do a contact sheet, put it up somewhere just so I can look at it.
Yeah.
And like, okay, which photos do I really want to put in this book? Because like I know like
That's a great point.
yeah, because I know like I don't want to like oh this pleasing and stuff like that, but I need to find out which ones will look good and get like the point across what I'm trying to say.
So like if I put photos, because I consider doing a book a few times, if I put photos that I do on the walls where I work or where I live, then I'll know after a while which ones I can live with and which ones I cannot live with, right?
Yeah.
Some will be fine if they're all a long time. Other ones, maybe in the beginning I'll think they're great, but then after a while, they're not even that good, and take that one down and maybe curate a series of images that way.
Yeah.
Another nice thing about making prints too is, like you said, you mentioned about books. I actually made a photo book recently, again, another photo book with my street photography stuff. And I was really surprised at the end result. I'm like, wow, this is actually really good. I think I just wish I would push myself more forward with galleries, because that's why I started off making that book. I was hoping to take the book with me and show it to certain galleries in LA and hope to get myself to be shown or get like a grant from the local art agencies in the area. Because, for example, Long Beach has Long Beach Arts, Palm Beach Arts Council, which is a really good organization. There's lots of them in LA, which I had no idea about because of Bonnie. She told me about it, and she told me I should check it out, and I kind of did check it out, but I never got a response back. So that kind of shut me down pretty fast. I'm like, oh, okay. But I'm just saying, there's a lot of organizations out there to help artists.
Yeah.
And it's pretty amazing.
That's one of my goals, because my friend, like, I didn't think about ever doing a book or anything. Like, I thought of it, but just brush it off. My friend, we went to his house, and a buddy of mine brought these like 8x12 or like 10x12 boards, and like, okay, write down your most wanted dreams. Like, what is something in goal you want to do in life, and then you're gonna have to put that on there, and then put it as a dream board, and put that dream board somewhere where you see it every day, so that way it's nagging you to do something. And so I put down like being an art gallery like you, and make a book. And so now, like, here I am trying to make a book within a couple of weeks, so that way when this curfew's lifted, like, hopefully it'll be done and ready to go.
That's cool.
Yeah.
This is turning into a really interesting conversation. I'm wondering can I use this, can I put this up on my conversation website just in case somebody wants to learn about what we're talking about? Okay. And then here's another question. Would it be possible for us to meet again at some point and maybe, and we're not done. I'm going to throw this out there so you can think about it, and no pressure, but like, what if we each tried to take an image? It doesn't matter if on a phone, on digital, whatever. It doesn't matter, but and next time we get together to bring in, one image each of something that we shot in between now and the next time we talk. Like maybe we could meet, have a photo talk once a week, and then just.
I'm okay with that.
I'll enjoy it.
I just needed the deadline though.
Well, let's try to. Let's pick Thursday.
It's spontaneous.
There was a photographer that I met, and he kind of does this with his other photo buddies, and it's like the 24-hour challenge, and one person will be in charge of like the challenge, and he'll text everybody, "Hey, you need to take a picture of like a skateboarder within the next 24 hours. It can be street, it could be like pose, it could be something, but it has to be a legit photo." It'll be among with like 3 or 4 people, and then the rest of them will have to be the judge.
Right.
The rest of the people are judges, and they're like, okay, we like this photo.
I think
I've heard that.
Let's do a week. Let's try to meet next Thursday. I mean, I might talk to a few of you before then, but and then and we're not done. I'm just saying this, and then let's make an image of any kind between now and next Thursday. And the thing, the guideline really is that whatever level lockdown you're in, it's going to be a little challenging. Or maybe it won't. I don't know. For me, it's always challenging to make a photo, but you guys are more gifted. And so, and then we can screen share on this thing, that photo. If you don't have that ability, you just, hand it off to one of us and we'll screen share it. No critiques or whatever. I mean, not but just, this is the thing I made this week.
That's fine with me.
It sounds fun.
So really that's the thing, and again, we're not done. I mean, we're not done talking. I'm just saying that might be kind of neat. I mean, you guys are really good, so I'm expecting a lot. No, I'm joking.
I've been photographing toys lately, so that might change the scene a little bit for me.
That's fine though. If it's that, so what? There's no rules, whatever it is, that's what it is.
Nah, the photographing toys that kind of burned me out pretty quick, and kind of brings me to despair only because I met so many toy artists in the past, in the last few months, and it's on hold now because I can't really help them right now because it's hard to get certain toys because certain toys is coming from Southeast Asia countries and they're not allowed to mail anything at this time, so I can't really photograph toys right now because it's been bringing me down, unfortunately.
Okay. So they can't ship them out here, huh? Is that the problem?
I'm sorry?
They cannot ship those things right now? Is that what's going on?
Yeah, for certain items.
Okay.
Oh,
So because they haven't got their goods yet, I'm supposed to get something from an artist from New York, and he was able to find to ship it out like about, I don't know, almost a week ago, and it's been delayed for the past month and a half.
it's not essential.
Yeah, it's pretty. It's been really hard for the independent toy artists in the East Coast with this impact, and that's been hard for me to photograph anything because I'm like, oh, I got some stuff from another artist, but I don't want to make them feel jealous or envious. It makes sense.
Yeah.
So that's why I haven't been photographing toys as much. And I mean, I have some cool stuff photographed, but I just can't put myself into it. So this will help me to push myself to photograph something else differently. So thank you for the challenge.
I think it'll be fun.
Yeah.
Nothing serious, just like make whatever you want to make.
Okay.
I can try.
Yeah. I don't think I've really taken a shot since this whole lockdown. I don't, in the backyard a little bit with my son and my daughter, but I haven't picked up the camera much.
Here.
You have. You've been photographing these chats.
I do that because that's a way to get the interpolation, because this is a one. I don't even know what this is. The retina. What is it?
Does it help?
Yeah.
I'm gonna take a picture of you guys. The retina is I don't know. Is it 72 dots per inch? But they call it a retina, so you don't mind paying all that money for it. I take a picture of Fuji, and then the Fuji brings it up to I don't know how many megapixels the Fuji is. That's the first Fuji X series or X100 or whatever.
Just make up.
But I do that so that I can get that resolution up, so that I can push it into my web thing. All the chats live on a website called I Had a Conversation.
It's such a clever name. Seriously is.
Oh, thanks.
I didn't mean it, man. It's just simple and memorable, like really memorable. It's crazy.
So I found out there's another hideaway usage.
Really?
And my website was down for a while.
Oh no.
Oh man.
Yeah. I was like, wait, I paid for all this. I paid for the domain. I paid for all this stuff. But the other lady's in what's it called? Florida. And she has a restaurant. Spelled the exact same way, HEIDAWAY, hideaway. I think it's like bistros or something like that. I'm like, oh man, I hope this is not like a legal thing. I hope it's not it's going to become like a legal term or something like that. Yeah. And after like about 2 weeks, my website was back up.
Wow.
Yeah. So I was like, oh man, thank God.
Yeah. I need to change my name for your imaging to my legal name, I think. Only because of this UFO imaging in the UK. They are retouchers.
Okay.
Oh.
And I think they have an office in New York too. I'm like, oh man. I didn't really knew that. I don't know who came first. I'm honestly sweating over it. But this is what's interesting. This was funny though. For Facebook, when I was the first one to have it down for that, and Instagram, which is interesting. So
that's legal documentation of rightage.
But the thing is, I never really established my business. I've just been doing it properly by getting proper permits through the city.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I never have a business license. I've just been filing taxes if I do get hired, but I haven't been getting hired though. That's the truth. I've been doing stuff for free.
They call that a fictitious name, right? The name of your business.
And that costs more money.
You can establish that. Like there's a newspaper in Huntington Beach. It's really a small paper. You can give them a very small amount of money, and they'll file a public notice that your legal name is doing business under this fictitious name. And that basically establishes that you publicly announce that I'm making stuff with this name, and I don't know what that means. I don't know if I don't know. I'm not saying it's going to protect you, but I know that that's the procedure in getting your fictitious name established and started. And I believe they do require you to have a business bank account, which is not much difference than a regular bank account. It's just like you pay a little more per month. You know.
True.
Yeah,
I
that
know.
was it. Whenever I started a business, that's what I did. Got a business checking account, went and got a fictitious name, published it, and that's pretty much it right there.
I'm gonna need to have a separate conversation with you because me and my wife are deciding. We're thinking about starting our own business. Not anytime soon, but sometime soon.
Nice.
And yeah, for her horse training business.
Yeah, what I always tell people is that, and I'm sure Raul is different than me on this, but I believe just start the business, and then when you need a business license, go get it. And
okay.
Because I've done it both ways. I've done it where I spent all this money on fictitious name and business checking account, and then the business failed. And it's like, why did I spend all that money on that stuff? I never made a penny on it. I never, So other times, I think it's more of a good business practice to on the financial aspect to just start a thing. If it starts making money, then go get the thing I told you, like just
Well, we know we can start making money. It's just the whole business process and what type of business we should use, like a corporation, personal, all that stuff. All that bells and whistles and everything. That's the part we need help with.
I don't know a lot about that. I know I was always a sole proprietor, but I know that there's different levels of corporations where it doesn't have to be as expensive and heavy as that one, and a good person to talk to, aside from a lawyer, is like a tax person.
Yeah, and that's what we're going to need to do.
They're not as expensive. They know a lot about that.
Crazy.
Yeah, because that conversation came up the other day, and so we're like, well, yeah, that's a good point.
Right. Yeah. True.
Yeah.
It's down the road, right? It's gonna be down the road.
Yeah. Because we don't want to also live here in this apartment forever, so we also want a house. And then, when we get a house, do we want to move out of state? And then when we move out of state, do we want to start a business out of state, or do you want to start a business here? And then where's the best taxes?
And that's the truth. I think you do have to, when you move to a different state, I think you have to re-announce that you are doing business as blah blah blah.
Yeah.
That sounds about right.
That fictitious thing. And some people have, somehow they have their business set up in a place where there's no tax. I don't know if you can even do that anymore. But back in the day, they used to do that. Like go to Vegas or something like that, and but they'd operate in a different place.
Yeah. No, the headquarters have to be in that state, in that one state, and then the other buildings can be anywhere else. But the headquarters has to be at a physical location, at a physical state, and needs to have a cell phone, a mailing address, and something else. And someone has to be working there or so.
Right, which you can do that with those mailbox places.
Yeah. And that's how my jewelry store, that's how, when I was working there, that's how they did it. The owners were at some other place where they had no state tax. And they were still, the physical buildings were at were on Long Beach.
Yeah. Yeah, that's even if you're in the state of California, if you found you're technically supposed to operate out of the city that you got your business license at, but you wouldn't want to do that really if you lived in Beverly Hills, right? Because obviously their business license is more expensive than Winter Park. So some people would actually get a mailbox at Winter Park, and not the kind from the post office, but the kind from a mailbox, etc. place, because that's like renting this little rectangle. And you get all your mail there, you get all your UPS or all your FedEx there, and they do the business license through that. Now, I don't know if you can do that anymore legally. I don't know. But I know people
have no idea.
Yeah. Because you got to pay that business license. I think it's yearly.
Yeah.
It's not a ton of money, but
No, it's yearly, and it has to be shown, publicly shown.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Craziness.
Well, let's wrap it, huh?
Sure, if you want. Fair call.
Unless you got something else you got going.
Not really. Just Trying to make that book as soon as possible.
Yeah.
You guys, any of you guys see anybody from Cyprus at all anymore? Like
Seen in person or talk to? There's a difference.
Or even on the phone or whatever. Yeah. Or this.
Mostly Grace, because she'll go on to my Facebook streams.
That's cool. Tell us about your Facebook streams. Tell us like what you're doing, what people can get out of that.
So it's kind of just my way of like coping with being indoors because I'm such an extrovert person. I can talk to anybody. So it's kind of like, well, no one wants to talk outside and no one wants to be around people right now. So might as well do a stream and see if anybody would join. And Grace mostly joins my streams on Facebook. But since I can't really find work, I've been streaming video games and my artwork. Kind of just trying to boost up my confidence in my art. Because I have like really low confidence, and that's what the book is helping me, was to boost my confidence in my artwork.
Cool.
And in myself. And so
your art's wonderful. I mean, that stuff on your Facebook is astounding. You know, the stuff you're doing in Photoshop.
Yeah, so that's what my book is going to be talking about as well, is my confidence and like how it dropped, and then how am I trying to bring it back up? Because it has, and so I was like, you know what? I can just be streaming all this stuff and see what comes from it. I already made like $3 off of streaming, playing video games, playing Minecraft. So,
really? Wow.
Yeah. So I'm like, you know what? I made $3. This is pretty cool. So let's try to do more. Like I can make $3. I can make
awesome
$15. So
that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
You're doing something better than me, you know, because I have that podcast. I've had people like John Stamos, and I've never made a penny. Nothing. You know?
I think John Stamos made more money than that.
You're doing something better than I'm doing, you know. You're gonna have to start following your streaming, you know. Talk about that stuff.
Yeah. I think that's why I was like, I want to do like the podcast with like a story of faith and make a book out of it.
Right.
Because I'm sure people will be really interested in buying that book. Or hopefully people will be interested in buying that book.
What's it going to take to get that put into action?
I already have, I'm asking a few people already to help me with the questionnaires, and just so that way I can go deeper in with the stories. And then I'm using that 4x5 backing to take their portraits. But I know because I go to Conwood Church, and so that's a mega church. So I know I have lots of people there.
A mega church. What's that?
Yeah,
What's
mega church. It's like more than 1,000 people. I claim it's more than 1,000 people as a mega church. It's a pretty big church. There's 2 services. Sunday has 3 services: morning, evening, and night. And then Wednesday night is their service, and Saturday is their Spanish congregation. So like,
what draws a person to? My next door neighbor is a pastor, and he's at a very small church. I think it's a rec center actually, and they.
Okay, so I think it's just what they do, like what they can offer the community.
Aren't they all offering the same thing?
Yes, more than less. But it's like how they promote themselves while giving back to the community. Because I know I've been to some churches where they don't really give back to the community. They only give back to their community that's involved in the church. So if you're not involved in that church, they're not going to give anything to the neighbors or anything. They're just going to give back to the people in the church, which isn't a bad thing, but also it isn't a good thing as well, because you're not going to your neighbors that Jesus said, go to your neighbors and love your neighbors, but like that's not really showing that part. And so I think Conwood does a good job with that, because during Christmas and Thanksgiving time, they give to random people, like, hey, if you sign up for this program, we'll give you a free Thanksgiving dinner. And it's like a real legit Thanksgiving dinner.
Right.
Yeah. And same with the Christmas programs, and same with some of their other programs. And they know that since they are a mega church, they know they can't get to every individual person. So they develop small groups where you sign up for so that way you can plug into those people at church now.
I see. Right.
And
Well, that's
so,
cool. Well, I hope
Yeah.
you get that in, action, your project.
Yeah. So I've been working, those two things I've been working on. Been trying to push myself into doing, as well as streaming.
Nice.
So
Are you doing any
Very nice.
specific lessons on Photoshop in your streaming thing, or is it just sort of like
just kind of my own
watch
stuff.
you make your thing?
Yeah, it's kind of just like here's my artwork, and I talk about like how I took the photo, or if I remember when I took the photo. Right now, it's all my old archive stuff because I'm looking for photos for my book, and so I'm just kind of looking for those ones and talking about like, hey, this
How
is
far back does that go?
2009.
Wow.
Yeah, so I still have this one, which needs a power cord, and so I had to ask my friend to if he can get the external hard.
Yeah.
Is that I think I might have one.
Yeah, that's like what is that? Like the round tip?
Yeah, it's that I don't know what name of it, but like.
Was the
That's
last time you used it? I think. Do you know?
2011, 2012.
Oh.
So it may not even work anymore. So I may have like some lost photos. But
I bet you the drive's fine. There's those little things. You ever see them? I bought one at Fry's, and they're like these little gadgets, and they plug in USB to your computer.
Okay.
The other side can do anything. It can do IDE. It can do super blah blah blah. It does. I mean, I can get stuff off old laptops, and I'll take a case like that. I'll just crack it open and get that actual drive out, and take it off the SCSI cable and plug it straight in this little dongle, and it goes right into my.
Huh.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's pretty brave to do. A test.
My friends, it could be dangerous, but it's super inexpensive.
I'm too scared to do that.
Yeah.
My friend's a computer nerd, so I'll just give him this and like, hey, can you just get the photos out? I don't know what's on it, so don't judge me.
Oh, jeez.
You're like, that was a long time ago.
It's nothing bad. Nothing bad.
Yeah. Oh, so that's what I do. And then I just use those old drives. I still use them. If I need something from 15 years ago, I just get an old drive out and I plug it right into my Mac.
Yeah.
They still run. You could run super old drives on these new computers.
Yeah. And that's what Rager was also saying. Like this will only last for like X amount of time or so, but a negative will last you forever. Might as well have that on negative or so, because you don't have to keep on putting something into a new hard drive and putting all that information into another hard drive every X amount of years.
Yeah, it's a burden. I mean, right, digital archival practices are tedious.
Because they always say like you have to update everything every 2 to 3 years.
Probably a good idea.
Technology is always going so fast.
I had an instructor who say there's some cloud thing where he pays not too much a month. It might have been like $19 or something. And it was literally infinite. You could upload infinitely to this thing.
Yeah.
And they would just keep it forever.
I forgot who it was, but they told us like you could pay someone once to give you like the infinite storage for Google or something.
Oh.
I forgot who told us that. But he was like, huh?
I think it was Mike Cologne.
It was either Mike Cologne or the other photographer. He was a student, but he was really good. He had his own mathematical formula for.
Halligan?
No, he won a few competitions. Not a school competition, but other competitions. Kind of a loner guy. Always stand in the, not far back, but stand in the corner of the lab.
Did he do the real epic kind of?
He took two of the laptops. He took two of the Mac computers, monitors.
Not Jason, the other guy. What's his name? I can't remember his name.
Yeah.
He goes by Puvels on Instagram.
Oh, him. Yeah.
Who?
You're talking about Prevail?
Say again?
Right. You're talking about the guy that does the sort of surreal landscape.
Yeah.
Yeah. He I'm not sure if you knew, but he has a kid now.
Really? Wow.
That's cool.
Because he's such out of all people, he's very an introverted individual.
Yeah.
Very quiet. And
Yeah.
I spoke to him like a month ago. I was like, yeah, I just got a kid. Like, what? I can't remember his name though. Dang it. I know you're talking about though.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was like, if you talk to him about photography, like he knew those mathematical formulas on Photoshop and all those stuff. Like he knew how to.
And he's one of those guys that he was always out there shooting.
Yeah.
Like he was shooting stuff all the time, middle of the night.
Yep.
You know, drone and kind of like almost an adventurer / photographer.
Yeah.
It's a trip they brought him up. Yeah, he's really good at what he does. He is.
Yeah, he certainly had a certain style.
Yeah. He definitely shaped up the ways on Instagram feed. I could tell you right now.
Right.
All the copycatters now.
No, I'm sure. I remember he was like one time he was like one
Sean.
guy.
That's his name.
Yes, Sean. Yeah, he was pretty good.
Yeah, I had him in drone, I believe.
Yeah, we had him in drone.
Mm-hmm.
He's a good guy.
Yeah.
My goodness. What time is it? 11:30 almost. It was almost brunch time.
What's the quarantine brunch for today?
Meatloaf for me.
Leftovers?
Yeah, meatloaf. Yeah.
How do you make your meatloaf?
We just put onions and garlic in it.
Nice.
No ketchup?
Ketchup's on top, but we don't have like a loaf pan. We just have like a regular casserole pan.
Yeah.
So we just put it there, and like the meatloaf just like shrinks because all the fat's gone from it. So you better get 2-inch gap on each side.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Very lean, very good, but it's just kind of funny to see like this. Oh, this is gonna be a big meatloaf. It's like.
Do you put in breadcrumbs in your meatloaf? You ever tried that?
No.
It can make it a little more tender.
Okay. Yeah.
Not a bad idea.
Yeah.
I know what I'm doing.
I've had with that before, but I'm learning to cook a lot more now. I've been in quarantine, so.
Yeah, you have to.
Yeah, my cooking skills are getting a lot better.
Right.
Awesome.
Are you doing DoorDash?
No, it's
No?
too expensive.
Yeah.
I'm too paranoid to do DoorDash, to be honest with you.
Mm-hmm. You couldn't
I mean,
take.
I want to, but I just.
What if you put it in the microwave for like 10 seconds? Would that kill any living organism on there or no?
I don't have a microwave at this time. I only have a stove.
That's right. You don't.
You only have a stove.
Do you make a meatloaf roll?
I never made it before. I never done it. The closest thing I ever done was probably buffalo burgers. I'm not sure. I think Joey had one before.
How do you make that? How do you make a buffalo burger?
Oh, yeah.
So pretty much what I do is I put, let's see, I get a pound of buffalo, 1 egg, breadcrumbs, garlic powder, salt, pepper, and I just mix it all up together.
That's pretty close to a meatloaf right there.
Yeah.
Then, of course, I make my own blueberry barbecue sauce.
Wow.
I've done that before. That's good. Yeah.
Yeah. So I made that with cheddar cheese and optional bacon, but I haven't really ate bacon in a while. So
Joey, I think he's got you beat there.
Yeah, well, he's been cooking a lot longer than I have.
Just self-taught, man. That's all.
My dad.
Where do you get buffalo?
Before all this took place, I used to get it at, what's this place called? You could get it at Costco. You could get it at maybe Trader Joe's.
I can see
and
that.
if you get Sprouts, you can. There's a meat market by Mother's Market in Brea. It's called The Butchery.
Oh.
They have really good meat, nice cuttings and trimmings. But that's places I could think of.
And why did you get into buffalo meat? Because obviously it's not a common American, bologna, hamburger.
It just tastes better, in my opinion.
It's a very strangely light meat, isn't it? Like it's very tender.
Depends how you cook it.
Oh, okay.
I mean, it's very, very. It's not gamey. It's more lean.
Yeah.
If you overcook it, it will be too dried out easily.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I've had a lot of dried buffalo.
Fried buffalo?
No, dry. Like
Dry.
the meat's just
Cook it too
dry.
much.
Yeah.
Yeah, they cook it.
It tastes to me like it's almost like a bird more than a big gigantic bison, you know? Because to me it tastes like dark meat off a turkey.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I can see that.
The best time I had buffalo though was when I went to Yellowstone. There's a place up in West Yellowstone in Montana. There's a little barbecue place. For a 12-ounce ribeye buffalo steak, it was only $10.
Oh.
If you get that here at Roadhouse Grill, it would cost you about $35.
Whoa.
Dang.
It's like
because buffaloes, there's not as much of that on the market, and that's why it's expensive.
it's just
Yellowstone has buffalo there.
much.
They do farm. They probably do farm buffalo there. So that's why you probably got cheaper there.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah. And also on Catalina Island, they do farm buffalo at Catalina Island.
And wild boar too.
And wild boar, yeah. But there is wild buffalo out there.
I miss eating that, but I haven't had any red meat in such a long time. It's so weird.
Why is that?
It's by choice. I don't know. I've been eating more chicken. No pun intended.
Chicken's just more easier to cook and keep.
It is easier to cook, and you know what's well done versus eating chicken. I'm still paranoid to cook it.
Really?
Because exactly, I'm very scared to undercook it. I don't want to undercook it, especially during this time, because it really freaks me out.
No, right.
Especially I don't have a microwave. It's
right. True.
The only way I've been doing it lately is if it's frozen, I've been keep it in the bag, and I've been boiling in hot water for about 15, 20 minutes.
Good idea.
And then I take it out, then I pan grill it or bake it to make sure it's cooked. And I'm still paranoid over it because I'm like, if I cook it too long, it's gonna be too dried out.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the way. So one solution is if you could slow cook it, that'd be a nice thing. Like I have that pressure cooker. What's it called? Instapot. Where you could just use a regular pressure cooker or like a crock pot, let it cook for 6 or 8 hours.
Oh, I love that.
That way it'd be tender and it's cooked.
Yeah.
But you know me, I'm not a good planner, so that rarely happens at this house.
No, I need spices. I need flavor.
You do? So Joey's, your speed would be like the spicy fried chicken sandwich?
Oh, yeah. I love that stuff. But yeah, man. Okay, I guess he's coming right back then.
He's doing a text. He's texting somebody.
Sorry about that.
That's cool.
Good. Yeah.
We're just chatting.
Now it's just chatting. This was supposed to be about film or photography.
You're hungry.
Yeah, food is important during this quarantine, right?
One more time?
Well, food is important during this quarantine. I used to eat a lot of soy. I made like soy tacos, and I'll eat that in the morning. And it's very difficult for me to get other people in this house to eat it. Some people do, but and then now with this quarantine, I've had to really get a variety of food. So now, I've got shrimp, and I've got chicken, and I have, steaks, and I've got all these different things, and I'm trying to cook, Asian and Italian, and you know what I mean, because you get kind of tired of eating the same thing.
Yeah. I've been making I don't know if I told you this, but like casseroles, or like sandwich casseroles. So because I've been really wanting like a chicken panini from this one store I used to work by, and they have really good chicken paninis, and I've been really wanting one. So I'm like, no, let's just if you just lose the bread and just put all the ingredients into like a casserole, like it gets to be fine. So we tried. I'm like, yeah, it's pretty good.
Is it good?
Yeah, it was pretty good.
That's awesome.
Raul, I got one for you. My sister gave me all this canned chicken, so it's cooked.
Okay.
And what I did last night is I took cabbage, like a head of cabbage, and I chiffonade the cabbage. I mean, fine. It's like freaking hair, you know. I put that into a salad bowl, right? Then I took a grater and I took a carrot and I totally grated a whole gigantic carrot and put that in a salad bowl. And then in a separate bowl, I put a little soy sauce, a little rice wine vinegar, but you could use regular vinegar, a little sugar, some sesame oil, any Asian thing you have, you could put in a, you know, like sriracha, whatever you want. As long as it's kind of sweet, and I put a little olive oil in it, so you have an oily, sweet, kind of salty, Asian-ish. Well, I put a little grated ginger. I put I minced a garlic. I pressed the garlic, not minced. Like, you know, whip it all up. Maybe it's a quarter cup of dressing, you know. And then I took that can of chicken, I rinsed it under the water to get all the can flavor out and salt, and then I toss it, you know. So it's got this. I was trying to replicate that Chinese chicken salad you get at restaurants, you know, like at Hawaiian barbecue places, where it's basically that sweet, salty, peppery, you know, cabbagey, chickeny thing.
That sounds really healthy.
Yeah, it's not really that healthy, but it's. I mean, you could even eat it without the chicken, basically, because it's the garlicky, sweet, salty, Asian-y thing, you know. So, but that's maybe a remedy for you if you ever get a chance. Get some canned chicken. It keeps forever. You don't have to worry about wasting it, and you can use it in things like that. You know, because I was at a place called Island Grill over there, right by Joey's church, right next to Catella Deli. And that's the salad they give you with everything there. So some white rice, some, you know, some Chinese chicken salad. And then if you want meat, you add a meat to it, you know, like grilled chicken or whatever. But you could literally just eat that and you'd be fine.
That's not a bad idea. Thank you.
Something to do, something to think about. Canned chicken, you can use it in quite a few dishes. You can't tell. And that's what they do in restaurants. They use canned chicken all the time.
That's great. This is true.
Didn't think about that.
Then you wouldn't have to worry about the salmonella because it's already been cooked by Costco. I think this is like Costco canned.
Salmonella.
I heard that.
It's Joyce.
Oh, baby. I can't.
There's some joke here I'm not getting?
It's just nothing. It's pretty bad.
Well, it's just Facebook Live. It's just us. It's probably like 2 people watching.
How many people are watching anyway? I'm just curious. Do we know?
I don't know.
Hold on, where's my phone? I can find out.
Oh, no. You're good. It's okay. You don't need to.
No. We're going to find out now. The question has been spoken. Where's it at? Facebook.
My prediction is 1 or 2.
1 or 2.
That's my prediction.
I got
No idea.
My phone's down real quick because I don't want to hear like feedback and stuff. Oh, it's on yours. So we'll search for people.
There's over 9,000 people.
Okay. We should be live. There is 2 comments. 1 person's viewing.
1. There you go.
1.
It does. I wonder how many people passed it by.
Yeah.
300?
Who knows? Pretty early. It's pretty early for West Coast to go live for, I think, random combos, I think. I may be wrong. I don't know.
What I've learned from streaming is like if you have a constant time-wise, people will start viewing because like they're like it's like a TV schedule. Like it's on at a certain time. So people will now know like, oh, you're on at this time. Yeah. I can now make a time schedule for you to watch and viewing you guys.
Yeah. People don't like random.
No.
They like it to be Friday photo talk.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah. We're creatures of habit.
Yeah, we've been trained.
Yeah. Like horses, we need to have something going on.
That structure makes us feel safe.
Yes. Stupid horses.
Wow.
So meatloaf and well, Joey's got the meatloaf. Who's doing the meatloaf?
I got the meatloaf, yeah.
I'm not doing for lunch today or brunch. I might just do pie, toast, and cottage cheese. Something simple.
Yeah.
Nice.
Nothing too heavy. I usually eat heavy meals during dinner time. Try to. Nothing too crazy high in calories during the morning because it'll make me sleepy during the day.
Oh, okay.
Because I suffer with sleep apnea, so I gotta be cautious what I eat.
Oh.
Yeah.
When you eat and what you eat or whatever.
So I try to eat clean food as much as I can. It's hard.
Do you have that mask or no?
I have. It's for my nose.
Okay. Gotcha. There's a guy who had sleep apnea and he had the face mask. And he was like this, I guess this person that made prosthetics like that. So he made a prosthetic face hugger as a mask. So it looked like the alien was legit face.
Oh, the alien.
Yeah, the alien.
That's killer.
Wow.
Yeah. Like, God, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's killer.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy. I was telling Ken this.
Mm-hmm.
I think I developed on sleep apnea because of my weight.
Yeah.
I was close to 300 pounds back in October.
Wow.
I'm down to 235.
Are you on any special diet or no?
I think since pretty much end of November-ish,
Okay.
I haven't been eating out as much.
Okay.
But in February, though, I've been cutting out more so because of what's going on.
Okay.
I've been very cautiously more what I've been eating more than ever since February.
Gotcha. Because I've done keto, and that's a good diet just to like kill the weight off like as fast as possible. But the downside is that once you're off of keto, because you're not supposed to be on it for very long, but once you're off of it, you can gain all that weight back as fast as you lost it. But in the meantime, when you're on keto, you're supposed to find an exercise regimen at the same time.
Makes sense.
So when you're off keto, your habit is already, hey, I'm exercising. Now I can slowly start bringing these foods back into my diet, and I still can keep it off.
Wow.
Yeah, but it's a hard diet. It's not that fun.
I would just rather go on keto and look hot and just skip the exercise.
You can do that too. I lost probably like 15 pounds within 3 weeks.
Whoa, that's fast.
Yeah, it's fast, but you gain it back very soon, though.
What's the way to prevent the gainage?
Exercise.
Wow.
Yeah.
Does keto have a way to make that fun, exercise?
Yeah. I was doing bike riding for a while.
That's fun. I like that. I've been doing yard work. I like to play drums.
Yeah. So any form of exercising you can find to help you keep that weight off, that's okay.
And then don't you have to kind of always, isn't it a good idea to sort of maybe watch your carbs?
Yeah. So the way keto works is that the weight you want to lose, you put in a chart, and then you tell them, okay, then they'll tell you how much carbs you should have per day, how much fats you should have, and healthy fats, not bad fats, but healthy fats, and protein. So for people who love meat, it's a good diet because you're allowed to have meat. You're allowed to have the burgers,
but no bun.
Yeah, no bun though. Which is an alternative because In-N-Out? You're allowed to have In-N-Out anytime because you're allowed to do the protein wrap. Yeah. So you can have like a 4x4 animal style, extra cheese or whatever, as long as it's protein wrap.
Yeah, right. No.
You have to calculate it into your phone app though.
Okay.
Make sure you're still in the thing. Yeah, but you have like 5 fries, and there goes your carbs.
Wow.
And I love that stuff. I love salty, carby things. I love barbecue potato chips, or really any kind of potato chip.
Yeah, it's one of those. It's one of the hardest diets I've been on, but it was the most rewarding diet I've been on.
It worked very well.
It works really well, but I just couldn't find the exercise regimen.
Yeah.
But once this quarantine's lifted, like my wife wants to go back on the diet. I'm like, fine, go back on. So I'm enjoying my breads right now. I'm enjoying my PB&Js.
Oh man, that's a good one. I haven't had one of those in.
Oh man, PB&J with chocolate milk.
Oh.
I'm still a kid at heart. I still like my chocolate milk and dunking my PB&J in my milk.
Oh my God.
Here's a funny story. At the end, it was like until 13 years old or 14 years old. You don't laugh at this. I thought chocolate milk came from brown cows. For the longest time. I'm serious.
Close.
Oh, man.
Very close.
I used to go to Skatopia skate park in Buena Park, and I rode my bike there, or a skateboard, and I'd ride home, and I'd stop at Winchell's, and I would get, like in the middle of the night, like 11 o'clock at night, I'd get a chocolate milk and a donut. Normally a jelly filled.
Yeah.
I was probably 13 or 14. So I love that stuff.
There's a few donut shops around my place. I'm like, I really want a donut.
Can't you just get that and just sort of bleach the box and eat the donut?
Donut sounds good.
That's lying to myself.
Huh?
And that's lying to myself, though.
You got that? You don't live anywhere near the stables, do you?
It's a good bike ride.
You ever go to that donut shop right there by that golf course?
No.
Little hole-in-the-wall donut shop? Pretty good.
I got to try it.
Why are you talking about donuts? That's so evil.
You ever go to the donut shop by Cypress College at Grandma's?
I've always wanted to.
That's a good place.
Yeah?
They use lard. That's why it's so good.
I don't live too far from Cypress.
That explains why I got so much weight. That explains it.
Yeah, I don't live too far from Cypress.
You don't? Okay.
No.
Yeah. I don't think Granny's Donuts is still open, is it? I haven't seen it.
Cypress?
They could be, because they could do, curbside and takeout. As long as they didn't allow you to sit in there and eat, they should be able to be open.
Yeah.
I mean,
so a lot of stores, a lot of fast food places are open now, because you're allowed to walk in, get your food, and leave. You're just not allowed to stay in. No dining in.
And they have the 6-foot thing where when you're in line, they try to put tape down. They have that ATMs too, where they're trying.
It's pretty intense.
It's pretty stressful to go. I haven't done the food thing yet, but I go to the ATM and I have my gloves on, and I get out of the car. I put my gloves on, I have my mask on. I do the ATM thing. My card is now infected. I put that in a plastic bag, and I go back to the car. Or before I go to the car, I take my gloves off, throw them in a trash can. And then I go to the car. And even though I had gloves on, do the stupid, Purell thing on my hands. I mean, how long is it going to take to erase all of that, in our brains, like all this paranoia? Like, even when they do open it up, even partially, like, you're going to go to a concert and you're going to be like 6 feet away from the guy next to you. Or you go to the...
They're worried about, when the quarantine is lifted, it's just going to do another spike up.
Yeah.
But what they're saying is that, since the heat, since it's the heat waves and everything, it's helping killing the virus, because the virus can't handle the heat.
I thought that was a myth. I thought that people
apparently not, because my wife, one of her students, her mom's a nurse, pediatric nurse.
Yeah.
And so she's saying the heat's helping killing the virus, because since it's a flu, it's part of the flu family. The flu dies down when it starts heating up, because the flu can't handle the heat. So that's why during the cold season you get colds, because the flu it's a lot easier for the flu to survive in a body that the weather is colder outside. So since now you're breathing in the heat, it's killing the virus a little bit faster, or it's helping to kill the virus faster.
Now, I thought that people that live near the equator, where it's always 90, that they still have a flu season.
Yeah. Well, no matter, you're always going to have a flu season no matter where you're at.
Yeah.
Interesting. Analysis, I heard completely different, opposite.
Oh, yeah?
And I'm sure
I've heard so many things. My buddy's like, just listen to the CDC.
Yeah. I heard my friend is in France, and she told me that some French analysts and doctors, not doctors, but researchers, saying coronavirus actually doesn't die off in heat. It takes about 200 degrees to cook it off, or something higher. Something crazy.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not sure it's official, but this is what she heard in France, because she lives there, and they're doing researching of it. Like, does a hot weather actually kill it? They say no, but nothing's really confirmed.
Yeah.
That's the way it is with this thing. Nothing's really factual because it's so new and
it's intense.
Or you could be that one politician goes, yeah, just blow the air dryer on your nose and breathe in the hot air to kill it.
That'd be great. That was a
Oh my goodness.
Oh, that's great. I laughed at that one.
Did you try it, Joey?
No. I don't have it. I haven't been in contact with people in a while, man.
Yeah?
Yeah, the last time I was out was probably Sunday.
Wow.
Just to get food. Yeah.
The only time I go out is if I walk around. That's about it.
Yeah, just to walk outside, just to do laundry, and that's it. I haven't been really out and about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the other thing I heard is that, they discovered that the story's been unfolding, that basically it was here sooner than they thought,
Mm-hmm.
They found those people in Santa Clarita. Or was it Santa Clara.
It's crazy how they find them.
Well, they did an autopsy on them. They died early February.
Wow.
And they found the virus in their bodies, their tissue. And so that means that, and then they did an investigation on them.
Uh-huh.
They did not travel. They were not international travelers.
Mm-hmm.
So they caught it from somebody in Santa Clara, I believe it is, in early Feb.
Yeah.
We used to think, just 3 days ago, the world thought in California the first one was like late Feb.
Mm-hmm.
So that means it could have been on the ground, spreading around way before anybody ever thought.
Yeah.
It could be good too, because like if a bunch of people got it, theoretically, the herd thing, then a lot of people would have already had it. And that would change your ratios of like how if it's true that you can't get it twice, then it would be difficult for it to jump from person to person, because if a bunch of people had it, they would kind of be barriers.
Right.
But nobody knows. I mean, this is all just like, and it's all scientists from like this one of them was from Stanford. I cannot remember the other one, but they're very smart people doing models, which are a little bit scary. But we did a model, a computer model of what the spread could have been. I understand how that's useful, but I would rather know actually what happened.
Yeah.
I'd rather know actual numbers than theoretical
Figuratively numbers.
Yeah, just for the peace of mind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Scientifically, that's science, isn't it? That you prove a thing and then you make it.
Yeah.
Another scientist can take the same data and prove the same thing again. And
as long as it's consistent, it can be proof.
Yeah, it can be replicated.
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess we'll know when we know, right?
Hope so.
Yeah. It'll finish at some point. Who knows when, but it'll finish.
Who knows? At least they're not strict here, though.
Yeah. Are they strict in other places?
Oh yeah. They're strict in Michigan. I think it's like really strict in Michigan.
Really? My friend was just telling me he was in Michigan. He works for the oil refineries, and he said that he was out there, and he thought that the people there didn't, in general, this is horrible to say, they didn't look like they're in a good enough shape to take it.
Oh, wow. Yeah, because like they arrested a couple for kissing in public.
Really? Is it really true? I mean, and did they say that just to get us all riled up, or is it really?
I don't know, but like there's a lot of people are protesting over there.
Yeah.
Because they feel like it's like a tyranny on their freedom.
Sure.
And so like there's a lot of protesters, and the governor now is making more stricter rules because the protests embellished the rules or so.
Oh, so they're breaking the distancing rules in order to protest?
Yeah, they're breaking all these rules, and so now she's making it like even more stricter on them.
Are they rules or are they laws? Does anybody know? Like, are these laws or are they rules?
No, laws have to go through they have to go through a billing and everything. These are just like rules of like, hey,
like advisories, aren't they? Like,
yeah, they're more advisories. It's more just like, hey, here's your advice. You should do this, more so. But if you don't do it, there might be consequences.
They're allowing the governors to create more the
bylaws. I think they have more bylaws than anything else.
Okay. It's so confusing.
I've been hearing. I can't remember which state it was. I apologize. I don't remember. I remember. And well, okay, one of the states was Florida, for example.
Okay.
My friends was not allowed to buy certain things because it was closed off. For example, DVDs or collectibles.
Uh-huh.
I can't remember the other state. Someplace in the Midwest. It was either Wisconsin, Michigan. I can't remember which state. I apologize. I don't remember.
Mm-hmm.
But they want to buy some seeds, like to grow some veggies and fruits.
Mm-hmm.
They were not allowed to.
Because of the packaging?
I don't know. They said that's not essential. I'm sorry, but growing food is essential.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna lie to you, that's what kind of motivated me to start growing stuff, because after I heard that, like, oh my, I better buy some seeds and start growing some stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, I just got really paranoid.
Yeah, because I remember reading somewhere where they were trying to do like a driving rule over on Long Beach.
Really?
See if they can enforce it, but like they didn't do it because like how would the cops know where the person's going?
Yeah.
Paperwork.
Yeah. Still, people are still working. People are still going to grocery stores.
Yeah, you could say you're going to buy groceries.
Yeah. It's like, what, you're gonna arrest them to go to the grocery store to provide for the family or so? Like.
Right. You're going to a doctor's appointment.
Well,
Yeah.
my friend who's in France, she said it's pretty much martial law there right now.
Yeah.
And she's not allowed to travel no more than 1 kilometer, which is
60 miles? Like that?
1 kilometer?
Yeah, something like that.
I don't remember, but she's not allowed to travel more than 1 kilometer. If you do travel more than 1 kilometer, there's going to be pretty much police barricaded saying where you're going.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a friend in Italy that said the same thing.
So it's.
But that's a different, culture and government and laws and,
It's pretty intense.
Yeah.
You okay, Joey? I know this is making you feel uncomfortable. I could tell.
No, this is fine.
Okay.
I'm listening.
For me, it's between.
Joey's just thinking about when he gets on his bike right after this conversation.
I don't know. My wife crashed on my bike the other day.
Uh-oh.
We were repairing her bike, and the inner tube popped when we were repairing it. Yeah, so
bike shops are open.
Yeah.
By the way, because I'm a skateboarder, I know that because.
Oh, really?
We're trying to get skateboarding as a necessity, because it's for some people, it's actually their only transportation.
Yeah. And so.
Yeah, but they said bicycle shops are open.
Okay, that's good to know. And so when she was riding my bike, I guess the last time we repaired my bike, the back tire was loose from the bike itself, and so the back tire just came off when she turned into the riverbed.
Yeah.
And so the chain got caught with the tire and she just crashed hard.
So those bolts on the back of the nuts on the back of the bolt, they weren't or the axle.
Yeah, it came right off the axle and the bike went this way, she went that way, and her elbow's all scraped up. She has a good bruise on her leg.
Nothing worse than falling off a bike. It's similar to falling off a horse.
Yeah, well, she's been bucked off.
Yeah.
A couple of times, and that takes her out of commission for a couple of days.
You could break a shoulder falling off a horse.
Sorry to hear that.
Yeah, so she's been bucked off about 3 feet in the air or so, from where the horse's level is at. About 3 feet. That's probably like 6 feet in the air. Crashed down, and then she hurt a tailbone and her whole lower back. And so I had like massage that every day.
Wow, that's gnarly.
It's so bad for my wife.
Well, I fell off a horse when I was young. I didn't know how to stand up straight when it trots.
Yeah, and that's when you just smack the horse. You smack that horse right then and there.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's gnarly. It's falling from a very high distance.
Yeah. Like people are like, oh, don't hurt the horse or anything like that. It's not gonna hurt them. It's gonna teach them a lesson. Like telling a kid don't do that. It's like telling like training the dog, like, hey, don't bite the hand that feeds you. It's the exact same thing as telling a horse, like, hey, don't do this. Don't be a butt.
Yeah, when I fell off a horse, it was actually my fault, not the horse's fault.
Always the horse's fault. Always the horse's fault.
Is that stables staying open?
Yeah. So it is and it isn't essential.
It's crazy. I never know that would be an essential.
So because it isn't essential because you have to work the horses. The horses have to be worked. The horse's energy has to get out.
Okay.
And it's exercise for the horse. And so for that, they just can't walk it. People have to ride it so the horses can get used to people riding them.
So the owners of those horses get to go there and social distance and ride their horses.
Yeah. So with lessons,
still rolling right now.
Yeah. So with lessons, the exact same thing. The rider or the person tacks the horse, or the assistants will tack the horse, which means getting the horse ready to be ridden on. Like put the saddles on the bridle, put the horse onto the mounting block. Let the person get on the mounting block. They hand the person I forgot what they call the
rein.
The rein. That person rides into the riding ring, and then my wife can either be in there, but only by the gate, because she's always constantly like more than 6 feet away from the horse themselves. Because you need to be that far away, so that way if the horse becomes stupid, you have to get out of the way, stupid horse's way.
Yes.
So she can either be outside or inside, but like towards the middle. That way she's away from everybody. There's no group lessons, only private lessons.
Right. Makes sense.
Yeah.
That's the way to contain all that.
Yeah. So that way it is still an essential thing. It is helping people.
You never know that horses were,
Yeah. It was kind of like a dog, like a big dog. Like you can't always have it in the house. Like you need to have that dog being walked all the time because it has all that pent up energy. It's going to release all that energy somehow. And you just don't want to guard.
What about you, Joey? Don't you have pent up energy?
Oh, I have tons of pent up energy.
That's funny.
That's why you have to get your bike fixed.
Yeah. Well, my bike's fixed.
Her bike broke.
Her bike is her tire popped and everything. Right. So I'm worried about riding my bike because I don't want to go somewhere far and like crash.
You have to walk it back if that's the case.
Yeah, I really don't want to walk it back.
No, it's a long ways.
Yeah, I go up 3 miles out or so.
Make sure you have water and a hat, so if you have to walk it back, you can.
Yeah, last time I forgot water.
Oh.
I'm so thirsty.
I'm sure.
Oh, man. It was like a day like this, too. I'm like, man, it's hot. It was a bad day to forget water.
This weather's a trip, huh?
Oh, I love it. My wife hates it.
Like it's tomorrow, is it going to be like 98 or something like that? Or
yeah.
Something?
Yeah, 100 tomorrow.
Yeah, so tomorrow I gotta like find a way to get my wife iced tea or something like that during the middle of the day.
That's cool.
That way she has something refreshing.
Right.
I should make some barley tea. That sounds pretty good, actually.
Yeah, I've been drinking a lot of tea. I just finished my tea.
Yeah. I like to put a hat, I have a bucket hat, and I like to soak it in water. Like when I go shoot pictures of skateboarders in this kind of way.
That's what my dad does. He gets his hat wet, puts it on his head,
Yeah.
keeps him cool for the day.
It's an old man thing, it works for us.
Oh, I've done it too, man. I love it.
And Andy started growing some corn. Haven't done that yet.
Corn's hard
It's
to
actually
grow.
good weather.
Yeah. You need the right soil for corn.
What do you mean? What do you need, you think?
Sandy
Because
soil?
we tried to grow corn a couple times and it's never worked out. And we asked people like, yeah, you need the right soil for it. And I don't know what the right soil is, but I know you need the right soil for it.
Let's try what I have. Not all of it, but some.
For me, the most critical thing was placement. Like in my backyard, the northwest corner was really good for peppers and tomatoes for some reason.
Yeah, we have a lot of the small little chili peppers.
Oh, you're growing those?
Let's see.
My mom has them at their house. But yeah, those things are spicy.
Oh,
I can't handle it.
you don't like spice?
I don't mind spicy. I just don't like it when spice overpowers flavor.
Yeah.
When it's like too hot to enjoy it. I don't like it when it's like that. Like I have my level of spice, and that's about like Tapatio.
Oh, that's good.
Like that's about my level.
I love Tapatio on seafood.
Okay.
And I love it on beans and rice.
So
yeah,
I like Cholula better than Tapatio.
How's the flavor different?
For me, it's less vinegary.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
True.
That's just my taste buds. My brother thinks Tapatio is less vinegary than Cholula.
Right.
And then my sister doesn't like either of those two, and she likes what's that? The rooster one.
I love Red Rooster.
Yeah, she likes that one better than
down salt in it, which like I have like.
That's really good.
Yeah, that's great on fried chicken and.
Oh, how does food talk? Jeez, killing me.
It's like Cypress all over again.
That sriracha. Do either of you eat sriracha?
That's what it's called, sriracha.
Yes.
That's what my sister likes.
So I normally get that one sriracha that everybody gets, the one with the green tip on it, and then they're out, So I got this other sriracha. Oh my god, it's so much better. It's like this whole thing's. It's a yellow, whole different company. Get it at 99 Ranch Market. It's like 100% better than that other sriracha.
Sriracha got in trouble a couple years ago.
Oh,
yes.
The company did because of the smell complaint.
Huh.
That's right. I forgot about that.
Yeah, they got the neighborhood around it was complaining about the smell that the sriracha company was bringing out, and so I don't know if it was a lawsuit or anything, but I remember they had to change the building aspect so that way, like, the smell wasn't coming out of the building.
Sure.
I remember that. That's too strange.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, that's weird.
There's a bakery over near Los Alamitos, Entenmann's or something like that, one of those bakeries.
I miss that place so much.
Yeah, and it smells like, cinnamon buns all day long.
Oh,
they obviously
complain about that. That smells great.
Yeah.
I remember I was photographing at a party, a rave in LA.
Okay.
Every time, towards like around like 4:30 in the morning, 4 in the morning, it was actually on Entenmann's factory. They were making fresh chocolate cake.
Oh.
And you could smell it like every time at that certain time. After the party was over, like, oh my gosh.
As it is. Wow, that's awesome.
It's just pretty funny. All the people like, that smells so good. But it's just only, yeah, good memories. It was in someplace in Montebello. But there's also a good dairy in Montebello too. Bogier, I think is the name of it.
Was that the Schmidt or something like that, or Stars, or what was it?
I think this one's called Bogier.
Yeah. Did they close that place?
And there's another one too, Carl Strauss.
Oh.
I don't know where that one's at.
So
But yeah, Bogear has the best tasting chocolate milk ever.
Yeah.
In case you wonder, Joey.
Okay. I don't know, man. There's this company comes about this, it's like about this big or so, and it's pretty good chocolate milk. It's pretty good. Like it's pretty rich chocolate milk.
Yeah, it can be very rich.
Yeah.
That's
Think
It's the best.
taste.
They come in glass pints, right?
Yeah.
Those are rad.
That it's expensive, but it's
It
good.
is. And it's super rich.
Oh yeah.
Good times.
Food talk.
So I found this in my wallet.
Oh, yeah.
A LA library card.
Free parking.
Public library. And may have to reactivate it online, which I'm hoping still works. Because if it does, I have some access to movie rentals, supposedly.
Nice.
I'm not sure how that works. So I hope that works, because if it does, I can be very, very happy.
Yeah,
I had a library card, and I was trying to renew it. It's like, why? It's like, well, I need a new one. I was like, well, you don't need a new one. That one's fine. I'm like, dude, this is ripping up apart. Like, the plastic's coming off, and like the plastic had the black strip on it, and that was coming apart. He's like, well, just tape it. You'll be fine. I'm like, no, but I want a new one, though.
Wow.
He's like, why do you want a new one? Because I want a new one. The guy couldn't understand why I wanted a new card when I had a perfectly good one. I'm like, no.
Well, what's more nerdy, a taped library card or a new library card?
If you can't see the barcode, you need a new one.
You need a new one, yeah. Because if that thing came off, like, then there goes my library card. And
I love that. This conversation's going fully into and
Nothing's wrong with that.
maybe before because I named this one photo Star Wars talk. So I try to get Waylon in here, but so maybe not, or maybe next time or time between now and then we could have a talk about something like that. That'd be an interesting,
right.
Sure.
Yeah.
I don't know. Do you guys watch Star Wars at all, or is that not a thing?
Oh yeah. My brother-in-laws and my wife are huge Star Wars. Like,
Really,
they read the books, they watch the cartoons and the lore, stuff like that. So yeah, like my knowledge is like here, there, just
out the window.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't even know
what
what you're talking about. I just think Jar Jar's the best character. He's the main key character to Star Wars, and George Lucas did the best job of hiring Hayden Christensen as Darth Vader and Anakin Skywalker. And I just usually get looks by people,
right,
by saying that, just to throw the wrench, just to have a monkey wrench in it.
Wow.
Didn't they call him Mannequin on the set?
I have no idea.
I have no idea. That's news to me.
I heard that they called him Mannequin. Well, not to his face, is it? But were you a Star Wars guy, Ro?
Yeah, I'm a huge fan, actually, but not that crazy big fan. I used to be.
Right.
That makes sense. I mean, to collect Kenner toys, let's put it that way.
Right.
Kenner Toys is a company that made Star Wars toys.
Okay.
Yeah. So
you have the original Boba Fett with the gun?
Do I have a Boba Fett? The closest Boba Fett I might have. Hang on.
I know that was like the most valuable one out there.
Really?
Yeah, like one of the most valuable.
Closest Boba Fett I have is something like this.
Oh dang! Nope. You want to have it then?
No. This is all those stuff I was telling you about.
Dang, dude.
Well, that thing looks like a Krylon paint can.
Who?
One of those things looks like a spray paint can. No.
Oh, this. Yeah, that's Cranky, and this is a chocolate bot.
Huh.
That's cool.
Chocolate mint, to be exact, because it's like chocolate, the coloring. And this other one is just. Yeah, it's fun.
That's cool.
Pretty sick.
I have too much Speaking of skateboard, I have a skateboard back there, which is by the artist.
Oh yeah, how
Nice.
cool. Neat.
But yeah, it's just random stuff. I have way too much random stuff. It's Boba Fett here. Is it the closest Boba Fett for it?
Okay, yeah. Yeah, you wouldn't have it.
No.
So kind of when Star Wars came out, it was the original. Was when Star Wars came out? When
I thought it was-
1977.
Yeah,
1980s or so.
I thought it was 70s, late 70s.
Okay, yeah, it was like late 70s, late 70s. Boba
late
Fett toy. And because CNC was the cool silent type, everyone really wanted that Boba Fett toy. It became really valuable, and since every kid bought it and always lost the gun, so if it had the gun with it, it was even more valuable because it came with the gun,
Yeah.
and everyone lost the gun because the gun was so easy to lose. But if you had it in the original package and never opened it, then it was worth even more.
Right.
That's crazy.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Very cool. No, I don't own it.
That's kind of like the die-hard collector's mantelpiece of Star Wars.
That's rad.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right now I'm looking for K2SO mug.
Say that again?
The K2SO mug.
KTSO.
Yeah.
I'm having trouble to know what that is. I know what that is, but it's okay.
It's from Rogue One.
Oh,
Yeah.
To be honest with you, I've seen that movie only once, so shame on me for not knowing memory characters' names. I guess that's one of the droids.
The droid that was super sarcastic.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there you go.
Kind of stole the show a little bit.
Oh yeah. There's this where you smack the guy in the face. That was all improv.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he was like he wasn't thinking he was gonna get smacked, but like he smacked him. He's like, oh gosh. So they kind of just kept that clipped in.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That was a controversial Star Wars, wasn't it? Rogue One. Like some people loved that, other people hated it.
I thought that was on Solo.
Yeah, I think Solo is more upsetting than anything else, I think.
Because Rogue One I thought was pretty well done.
Really?
Yeah.
I liked it too, but I also like Solo, but you guys did not like Solo.
I thought it was okay.
I enjoyed it.
Like
Just because.
I'm not a big fan of backstories of like having these cool characters and then like learning about their backstories. So I'm not a big fan of that, really. What ruined it for me was like Aliens. I was a huge Aliens fan, so I watched 1, 2, and 3. I never liked 4. And then when they started bringing out some like Alien versus Predators and the Predator movies like that, I love that lore. And so when they showed the history of the alien, it kind of it ruined the imagination for me.
Oh, because you had that in your own brain, and
this is a creature not to mess with. It's kind of like a cockroach. I don't want to know where it came from. I don't want to know really the backstory, because it left that mystery of like no one really knows where this came from. That's kind of like the cool mystery about that creature.
That's true.
Yeah. And so you leave these mysteries, and it kind of gives the watcher or the viewers of bringing their own imagination to like this cool backstory of like, Han Solo was this cool BA guy back when, and then we watch this movie, you're like, oh, okay, he's still kind of BA, but it's like, it's not cool how he got his name.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, from what, registering to be in the military or something?
Yeah.
What was your favorite Aliens movie, Joey?
I like the Aliens 1 and Aliens, the second one.
1 and 2.
1 and 2, yeah.
Yeah.
That scared me, because I watched it as a kid, and that freaked me out.
It's a freaky movie.
Well, yeah. When the thing came out of the guy's chest, that freaked me out, man. I was like, what the heck was that? This is not cool.
There's so much tension in that number 1 Alien.
Yeah. And I'm playing, I played the game, too, Alien Isolation.
Oh.
And it talks about Ripley's daughter when she grows up. So it takes place between 1 and 2. And she's looking for her mom. and you go into the spaceship, and there's one that you find out there's an alien inside there, and the droids are on lockdown, so they're doing martial law, and so they're trying to keep the humans safe, which is kind of like enslaving the humans, doing like maintenance job and stuff in this one little area, so you can't get caught by the androids, but also can't get caught by the alien at the same time.
Wow.
And so it's a big hide and seek game.
Okay. That's cool. Yeah, Alien 1 left so many things to the imagination, didn't it? Like
Yeah.
the size of the thing,
Yeah.
and what it was. It was just such a friggin' intense movie. It was like, I was pretty little when that came out. I was pretty young, but I thought this must be what having a heart attack is like, because it was just so stressful.
Jeez.
Well, I got so involved. I got into the comic books too.
Okay,
Yeah.
right. That's cool.
So I love the comic books and everything. And the comics, they can go more into like more gruesome things, and like where the aliens that do more, even way worse things to the human beings than you think.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what is your least favorite Alien movie?
4 will have yeah. 4 is my least
Is
favorite.
that the one where they're in prison, a prison or something?
Yeah, and they try to recreate the aliens or trying to control it. So that was kind of like a goofy one.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
to me, I was like, eh. Like Prometheus was okay, but that kind of like broken up my fantasy of the lore of that world a
Right.
bit.
It's a good point. Sometimes it's better to leave a thing undefined so that it's
Yeah,
more rich that way.
yeah. Like I wish like if they hinted like, oh yeah, these guys look like they were created, then I might have been fine because then that left a question mark on it. But since there's a hard evidence, like, oh yeah, they were created, I'm like, oh,
Right. That's a good point.
yeah.
That's cool. We should do that. Have a little sci-fi chat, you know? I always wanted to do
But
it.
random.
Waylon and Jules, I think she's into that. I thought she was. I thought there's a few people over there at Cypress that were into.
I think Grace is into Star Trek.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. I like the movie. I like the new movies. I just couldn't get into the show.
Yeah. What else? Tara is really into Star Wars.
Star Wars, Tara. Okay.
I'm trying to remember who else is into sci-fi. It's been a while.
Yeah. Yeah, me and my
I don't
buddy,
remember.
we used to do like old monster movie nights. Like we used to go over to each other's houses.
That's awesome.
And watch like the original Frankenstein, the original Dracula, and I compare like those to modern day movies, and that was really fun.
They're good movies, aren't they? Those are good.
Oh, no, if you like those old movies, yes, they're good old movies. Frankenstein was a little long, a little bit slow, but they're more true to the books. They stay true to the books, and they make it into more of a play.
Right.
Because they still have that play with that like musical or theater with logic towards movies than what we now know as like what we see are movies. So it's still like everyone stays here, this person will speak, and they kind of keep it up with like a theater.
Right. That's right. Right. Exactly. That's the way they. Very few movies back then would have multiple people speaking.
Yeah. And unlike today, where it's like, no, we use the whole scenery. We don't. This isn't the cutoff of the stage.
Yeah, that's true.
So it's kind of funny to watch old movies like that. And you're like, oh wow, this is okay. This is pretty cool. This is pretty neat to watch.
But it's the I mean, there's interesting photography principles in those old movies.
Oh yeah.
And then the new way, you know, is it can be a little distracting when you have such a, you know, wide, not literally wide image, but so many things in an image.
if you want to see good cinematography, watch the Ten Commandments.
Mm-hmm.
That's some really good cinematography there. Long movie though, very long movie, but they have some really great panoramic shots and really good dark shadowy spots and stuff like that. There's some like okay scenes,
Yeah.
but like there's some great cinematography shots in there.
Yeah.
Like how did they get this done?
Right. So that
True.
and Mariah, she's into that the cinematography look,
Yeah,
right?
we worked with her a couple of times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Have you ever seen Paper Moon?
No.
Okay, that one's a beautiful black and white,
Okay.
beautiful photography.
I'll have to watch that one.
Yeah. Another one I like is it's a movie by Woody Allen called Manhattan. It's also black and white.
Okay.
Really beautiful photography.
Okay.
Yeah.
A good person to ask this question would be my girlfriend, Bonnie. She majored in
Oh.
filmmaking.
Awesome.
And you want to pick her brain. You should pick her brain she has like really good knowledge for that.
I would love to do like film logic.
There's also that guy Kurosawa, right? Akira Kurosawa, Seven Samurai, and all those different films.
Oh yeah.
He had beautiful photography in his films.
Sorry,
Yeah.
I'm trying to fix a watch.
No, it's okay. It's good. Yeah, I'm just trying to think of other movies. Now I like Wes Anderson's style.
Yeah.
I love his style of photography.
Yeah.
Just everything centered, and
Right. He makes good films.
he does. And I love his humor. I love his dry humor.
Yeah, I like that movie Rushmore.
I haven't seen that one. I'll have to watch that one.
I like that one. Which one do you like?
Gosh.
I like Fantastic Mr. Fox and Isle of the Dogs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then it'll be like Grand Budapest Hotel.
That's a good movie too.
That's really good. And then it'll probably go down to like Roll of Tenenbaums.
Right.
That was the first one I've seen.
Yep.
That was my first time ever seeing a Wes Anderson film. Like, oh, this is interesting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Speaking of that, let's see. Oy. Sorry.
No, it's okay.
Just
Yeah,
mentioned
but some of my favorite of all-time favorites were.
There it is.
Oh, there we go.
Illusionist,
Oh, I love that movie.
Trips of Belleville.
Yeah, I love that movie.
It's a weird classic for you.
Cool World.
New World. Oh, that's.
Look where it's from though.
Oh my gosh.
Dang.
It's a nice little relic.
What's the girl in that?
This is a very hard movie to take, but it's good.
I think I've seen. Is that a Russian one?
I think so.
She writes letters. And they write like pen pals.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah, I have seen
I think
that
so.
one. Very
And
artsy.
In Paris, I Love You. It's good.
That's cool, man.
It's a really good ever seen film.
Yeah. What's funny is my dad loves artsy films.
Waking Life.
Yeah, Waking Life.
Ever seen it? That's an unusual film.
Okay.
It's good. I think I have it here. Yep, I do. It's an animation.
Okay.
It's pretty much people talking about life, pretty much.
Oh.
That's cool.
It's pretty much people describing how he's actually sleepwalking when how you awake. It's pretty bizarre. It's really hard to follow, but it's something I do recommend.
Okay.
If you want something to be more mind-bending, waking. I don't know, it's really strange. I always have a hard time to follow it, to be honest with you.
Okay.
Every time I watch it, it's always a different perspective I get.
Huh.
That's kind of a neat thing. Most films are more sort of poppy, kind of easy to digest.
Yeah. I think in my opinion, is one of the hardest films to digest, in my opinion. It's just me, though. Because I'm like that.
I can't do horror films.
No.
No.
You what?
I can't do horror films.
Oh,
Yeah.
I like westerns. And I like let's see, westerns and what else? Lately, I think
Spaghetti westerns?
What's that?
Spaghetti westerns?
What does that mean? I've always heard that term. I don't know what that
So
means.
spaghetti western is they shot a lot of the western films in Italy.
Oh,
Gave
yes.
it that West world look, Western time look. So that's why they're called spaghetti westerns, because like they shot in Italy and
geographically, that's where it is.
a lot of people ate spaghetti there because like it's so cheap. It was abundant, so they just always call it spaghetti
You guys
western.
are such film aficionados.
I grew up with a guy who loved watching movies. So
Yeah, movies are a great escape.
yeah, so I grew up watching Harryhausen films. Like,
Who's that? What is that about?
Harryhausen is the guy who created all the old monsters. So King Kong, claymation monsters. Yeah, the claymation monsters. So Jason and the Argonauts. What's the other one? He did a few of the Greek mythology movies.
I remember those.
Yeah, so he did the skeletons and everything.
The swords with the swords.
Yeah. So Harryhausen was the guy who created the skeletons.
Wow.
And all that claymation stuff.
I would not think somebody your age would know about all that stuff because it's so old. That was like entertainment when I was a little kid.
I love those movies. I watched all the Godzilla movies and everything. My
Yes.
dad loved those movies.
You ever see Giant Robot?
Giant Robot.
That's a good movie. It's a good animation film.
Okay.
Well, there's also a actual live action version of Giant Robot,
Okay.
too, which is around that Godzilla era.
Okay. I'll have to watch it. Because I loved all those old movies. And watching those and then watching like the cool remakes and with the good graphics, and like I don't mind it as much. I like it, but like sometimes they change the character's personality, which change like the main character personality, which hurts the film more so. Because I don't like, I can care less about the animation. Like good animation is good animation. I'll appreciate it. But if you change the main character storyline, like a good reference is Jason and the Argonauts,
Okay.
Where not Jason, it's goodness, what's the other one? It's the other Greek mythology one, where it's Zeus's son, not Hercules. It's another Zeus's son.
Chronos? No.
No, not Kronos. It's human, and he fights the Titans.
Attack of the Titans? No, I can't remember. I know which movie you're talking about. I can't remember the name of it.
He fights Medusa and grabs her head and fights the Kraken.
I know which movie you're talking about. That's a really good movie.
Okay, so there's two. There's the original one that Harryhausen made, or helped made, and they kind of stay true to the storyline with the main character. He goes, I know I can't do this task without the gods' help, so I'm going to use the sword, the shield, the stupid owl, the robotic owl that was made for the movie, because they're trying to compete with Star Wars at the time, and so like, yeah, we'll just make a robotic owl, and it kind of worked out for the movie. Little side hint right there.
I don't remember this.
And so with the main character, they kind of said like, yeah, you're going to have help with the gods. And so the main character goes, okay, I know I can't complete this task without the help, so I'm going to use all these equipment to help fight these mythological creatures to win the prince's heart, to be the ruler of the land. And so when the remake happened, they said, the main character was like, no, I'm not going to use the help of the gods. I don't want to be this. I want to be a human. And they kind of ruined that story, because in the mythological story and in the main story, in the real story that was written, like he was like, no, I need the help of the gods. I can't do this without the help. Yes, I'm human and I am Zeus's son, but I still need his help. I still need the gods' help. And so when they portrayed that character that's like, no, I don't want to be the hero. I don't want to do this. I want to be a baby about this. It kind of hurt the storyline along the way.
Right.
And everyone's like giving it praise because like, oh, it's great graphics and all. Like, well, just because it's great graphics doesn't mean it's a good storyline. Like
Right.
I tell people, watch the original stuff because the
Mhm.
storyline is good. They knew they couldn't have great graphics or anything, so they rely on the storyline to help make the story better rather than the graphics. And I feel that film nowadays is going like, well, we're making good graphics because that's what people want more than a good storyline.
I've heard that from more than one person.
Yeah.
They even showed comparisons to new films, like some of the new, with these superheroes and all that stuff, the Marvel stuff.
Yeah.
Show comparisons to those movies and old, as a matter of fact, Kurosawa movies, and they showed that there's a lot of stuff that's in there that's really not necessary. It's kind of eye candy-ish.
Yeah. And reason why I like the Ridley Scott's films, like Aliens, like even though I'm not a big fan of them, I appreciate them because Ridley Scott likes to use practical effects.
Yeah.
And like what they're seeing is what they're actually seeing. Like when they go inside the tomb of like where all the eggs are at, like those are there. That's all there. That's all practical. There's no CG. Maybe it's here and there on their outfits and stuff, but
Yeah.
what they're standing on is what is legitimately there. And like I appreciate more filmmakers that do that than like, oh, we'll just rely on CG to do it.
Yeah, he did Blade Runner, right?
Yeah, Blade Runner did that too.
I like that movie. I get immersed in that movie, like
Mhm.
I feel like in a way Ridley Scott's vision, his visual, it kind of overshadows like Harrison Ford, I mean,
Yeah.
Harrison Ford, that's friggin' Han Solo, but
Yeah.
like he kind of got lost in that movie because Ridley Scott had a very beautiful and kind of organic aesthetic.
Yeah.
Like I felt like that world was real somehow, which seems silly, but
Yeah. And you can see it in the actors too because they're not messing with like a green tennis ball on a stick. They're actually messing with the puppeteer who's there, and then you can get the same amount of lighting on that puppeteer than you do with the ball on a stick.
right.
You get the same color, the light white, the not color, but the same of light balance.
Right. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
This is just like one of those talks we would have on the couch at Cypress College,
Yeah. Pretty much.
True.
on the futon or whatever it was.
Yeah, the futon.
Go to a futon of many different smells.
Yeah.
That is different memories. Most importantly is Oscar's sleeping on the couch.
I remember the one time we after conceptual class, like, what if we like took the futon and made it into a bed? Like, would that make people uncomfortable? Like, well, we'll see. And it sure enough, it made a few people uncomfortable because now there's a bed where there used to be a couch. And then Oscar came and goes, "Oh boy, couch!" And just like lands on it and just like goes to sleep right away.
Crazy. I know I fell asleep on that many times. I'm not gonna lie to you, not laying down now. Only time I lay down it when it was
I never lay down on the couch. I sat on that couch.
I had to lay down because I had a bad migraine one day, and I had to sleep.
Yeah, I knew never to sleep in Cypress College lab.
Why is that, Joey?
Something bad would happen. And this is probably before when you came to Cypress.
Yeah.
But there was a carne rule, like if you slept with your laptop on and if Facebook was open, and someone found out, he knows very too well with this. You were messed with.
Bad pictures would happen.
Either bad pictures will happen, or your status will change, or something will change off of your Facebook.
Yeah, you'd have some unusual Facebook posts.
Oh yeah.
God.
Yeah, we kind of got in trouble for that. That kind of had to stop.
It's a shame.
I don't know who pushed it too far, but someone pushed it way too far. And
who was it? No, it wasn't him. It wasn't Oscar.
No, someone pushed it a little bit too far.
Who was? Was it? No, it wasn't him either. Who was it?
I don't remember.
I don't know. I think, yeah, I don't know who did that.
But I remember it was pushed too far when I was there, and then when I left, when I came back, like, hey, we're still doing that Facebook thing, and like, no, that stopped. I'm like, oh, okay.
Gosh.
Yeah, but that was, there were some really bad ones.
Not a photoshopping too.
And that with Photoshop too, yeah. Photoshop. Come back, photos all scrambled, and you're like, what happened? Like, all the layers change. Okay.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That was a great thing about that school back then. Is it was very social. So it really, I learned a lot from those conversations, which is really the reason I created my podcast. You know, Christian, he did a podcast with me as I was developing film. You know.
Yeah. So I
Weren't
remember
you there?
that. Yeah, I was helping Christian with that, and what happened was he lost his recording.
Oh.
And then when he found it, he accidentally formatted everything.
Oh.
And so all that stuff is all gone.
Right.
But yeah, I remember doing that, and I remember having a lot of fun and interviewing people in the dark room.
Right.
Yeah.
Hang on, I'm gonna yell at my kids. Apollo,
Oh.
could you and Kate contact Mom? Can you and Kate contact Mom? Yes. She just asked me if you guys were available. So Raul has a card sticking out of his mouth. Is that card in mouth?
Huh?
Is that card in mouth?
Oh, no.
Is that a magical card, or is that just like a plain card?
It's a regular card.
Okay.
Nothing too special. Nothing yet.
Nothing yet.
We'd have that too. Sometimes he would do some magic, and I hadn't seen that in years. That's one of my earliest disciplines was magic.
I remember one time he did a magic trick, and
wow,
his reaction was like spot on real. And I remember him like, I was like, I know how this trick is done. Like, why was the reaction that real? I was like, oh, because it was actually really hurting my skin. I was like, well, keep that up because that was amazing.
How did the card trick hurt his skin?
Oh no, it was like the bar going through the skin.
Oh, he did that.
Yeah, and how he did it was, I guess it was pulling the skin or something was happening, and I was like, no, that was perfect. You need to keep doing that. Like, even though it was a mistake, that was a perfect mistake.
It added to the.
Oh, it added to the realism of it.
Gosh, I gotta do that. Those habits.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Oh my goodness.
Like, if I didn't know how that trick was done, like, I would believe that was real.
Most of the tricks are not real. It's just fake. There's no such thing as real magic.
Yes, there is.
Let's see if we can do this real quick. I gotta do this. Will that work?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if I could do that or not. Was that 2? Can't tell. Simple stuff.
He's very good.
Yeah.
I learned magic from books. I learned magic in 1978, 76, and 77 before you guys were born. And I learned it from books. I go to a place called the Los Alamitos Magic Shop. And I would buy a book. My mom would buy me a book, and I'd have to sit there and from a book try to figure out how is this and how do you do what that thumb does and what does this finger do, man, it was really difficult, especially because I'm kind of hyper. Mm-hmm. There's no such thing as video back then. And then, when I did these podcasts, which was kind of inspired by Christian and inspired by the fact that Cypress kind of killed that whole communal thing in the photo department, I contacted an old friend, a guy named Michael Weber, and he actually agreed to do a podcast with me. And he's a really I don't say this about many people, but it's kind of a big deal, you know. Beyond,
I know that name.
yeah. And so if you ever listen to one of my podcasts,
Okay.
check out Michael Weber. It's because it's not something that you necessarily need to only apply to magic. It's a lot of stuff. This guy's really a smart dude. Like, and out of it, yeah.
Have you heard of Magic Castle?
Yeah, I've never been there, but
my friend he was part of the Magic Castle stuff because he wanted to get the discounts and everything. So he applied. He's a musician for a while, but he watched this one show where this kid memorized a book called My First Magic Book.
Wow.
And he goes, he's memorized it from word to word. And he goes, it was such dry humor. It was so funny. And he goes, My First Magic Book, page 1, the cup and the ball. Show audience the cup and the ball. And that's what he did. And he goes, the kid was legit good. Like, he was really good, but his stand-up was just dry humor.
That's cool. I love that stuff.
Yeah, and he was just like, no, show a card to audience.
You make me feel like I'm reading a magic book right now.
Yeah, he goes, now put card back, do trick, wait for applause.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
I actually been to Magic Castle. I was fortunate to go a couple years ago. And if you guys ever want to go, if it does ever open back up again, let me know, and I could probably get some passes for you guys.
Yeah,
by asking
we'll do it one day.
That'd be nice.
The thing is, though, you gotta pay for your own dinner, though. That's the thing.
That's okay.
You're looking at between $150 to $200 bill.
Oh, that's not okay.
But the food is really, really good, though.
I'm sure it is.
It's like top notch, good, like really good food.
Castle, is there still like a close-up room and a parlor room, or is it one kind
Yes.
of?
Okay.
So there is a stage room, there is a parlor, and there's a close-up room.
Mm-hmm.
The best room is a parlor, which is kind of close-up. It sits up to, the close-up room holds up to 15 people or less.
Okay.
And it's pretty damn good.
Right?
It's like, holy crap, man. But the most best room I've ever been to, I can't remember which room it was. It was seated up to 25 people.
Okay.
A small stage setup almost, but it's more like it's like card tricks. This guy is like phenomenal what he did. He pretty much gosh, how do we begin? Pretty much told the audience, here, take these cards from me, and let me guess what you have, pretty much. And of course, the cards appeared at different parts of the audience, and of course, the deck of cards he had in his hand, those cards were missing.
Wow.
It's like, how?
That's crazy.
My head hurts. How?
Have you seen the Penn and Teller Can You Fool Me show?
Yeah, I used to see that show. It's a good show.
great show. That's an amazing show.
It's a good show.
Yeah.
Those guys are controversial, right? Because some of their acts, they would reveal some things that were kind of a magician's secret, you know.
Copyrighted.
Yeah.
And so some magicians, you know, and there's another dude, but what was that guy who was on TV where he would just show you the tricks, the mask.
Yeah, the mask magician.
He'd show you the way it worked, you know. And
yeah.
people were pissed off about that.
If you've seen Penn and Teller Can You Fool Me, watch it. It's pretty good.
I seen them once live at
wow.
the wheel turn.
Yeah.
Yeah. They were phenomenal.
They get musicians on stage, and they show their best performance or artwork. And Penn and Teller are trying to figure out how they can do it.
Yeah.
If they can't do it, they win.
Okay.
Yeah, but like Teller's pretty, like he's better than the guy who's silent. He's a lot better than the guy who talks.
Yeah.
Pretty amazing people.
Yeah. That's cool.
Alrighty.
Yeah.
I need to eat that.
All right, man. Yeah.
You should eat.
Right. Well, thanks for chatting.
1 o'clock.
Very enjoyable. I'm going to turn the Facebook off now.
Okay.
And
now we can really talk.
well, I'll turn the recording off too.